Live from Marino's American Eatery in Greensburg, this is the 2024 Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff Show on the Westmoreland Sports Network. It's time to start the show. The Westmoreland Sports Network takes you live to Marino's American Eatery in Greensburg for the 2024 Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff Show.
Buckle up, wrestling fans. Your crew is live from Marino's American Eatery for this year's Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff Show, brought to you by Mike Camlin Honda in Greensburg. So mute that football game, heat up those Thanksgiving leftovers, and grab your favorite washdown as we dive into the heart and soul of high school and college wrestling from the most competitive county in the country. That's right, it is a wrestling night on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Good evening, happy Thanksgiving, and welcome in to one of our favorite show that is damn near like Christmas for me, as well as our amazing crew. Let's get to that crew. This is my man George Carter. You'll hear me call him G. He's got more nicknames than Apollo Creed. It's Marky Kasanowicz, call him Kaz, Marky K. And always good to have my Uncle Jeff, not really my uncle, but Jeff Shaw back with us here at the Westmoreland Sports Network. Dan Flicking, our president and founder behind the controls. Guys, it literally is like Christmas. It's in here. This is a pop-up Christmas bar. I learned a new term yesterday, pop-up Christmas bar. Talk about how excited you are to get this wrestling season underway, George.
Yeah, always excited for the kickoff show. Interested to, sit down and talk to these coaches, talk to these athletes. Some of these teams are going to be coming in, and they're, going to be figuring it out. Young teams. There's also some teams that are going to be loaded. So interested to figure out, what's the game plan going into the season to end up in Hershey.
I always like to hear how their off-season went. I know wrestling has become a sport where you say there is no off-season, but off-season from the PIAA competition, see, what weights kids are going, who's training where, who's working out with who. That's what I'm most interested to hear from these kids, how their off-season program went and how they're going to transition that into the regular season.
Yeah, and this season, the rule changes for high school. Mm-hmm. So what's the strategy? What do these coaches come up with on their strategy game plans from going match to match? And what I always like about this, we call it Christmas every year this time for us. But the young men and women that we're going to interview, go back from when we started 11, 12 years ago and interviewed these kids, people like Pletcher, Philippi, Bergen, Phipps, Oswald, Pitzer, the names go on. And for many of them, their first interview was here with us. And we're going to have some of this with these young men and women today. And I like to see over the years how they develop in their public speaking and, at the next level, college. And we know some of them. They've come back and we've watched them on college live shows and they've been interviewed. So the maturation of these young men and women is nice to see as the years go on.
For sure. And we always tell them, we did this for the first time too. And trust me, you're going to do a lot better than I did. So don't sweat it. How's the show going to work today? What we'll do, we'll take a quick commercial break here in just about a minute, and then we'll bring up our good friends from Penn Trafford. We'll run about a 12-minute segment. We'll cut away for a commercial break, and then so on and so forth until we end up the evening with the Mount Pleasant Vikings just down the road. Don't forget to give us a follow on our social media channels at Westmoreland SN as well as Westmoreland Sports Network. Got to give a special shout out to our man, Ken Reby from WesternPASports.com. That's WesternPASports.com. Ken Reeby's in the house taking some pictures. And again, special thanks to our friends at Marino's American Eatery here in Greensburg. Josh Jones and Pat Conway and his entire staff always roll out the red carpet for us when we're in the house. This is actually the first time we've ever been in the house, but it has been nothing but red carpet from our pop-up Christmas bar here at Marino's. When we return here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, we'll have our friends from Penn Trafford. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At Marino's American Eatery, we have one focus: you. Just like home, our dining room brings the whole family to the table with a truly unique menu prepared fresh in-house. At Marino's, we know beer. With 16 beers constantly rotating on our taps, we take pride in supporting only local, independently owned craft breweries. Come experience Marino's American Eatery in Greensburg, Westmoreland County's local craft beer destination.
The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is in very good hands. It's a system of healthcare whose hospitals have earned some of medicine's most prestigious honors for cardiovascular care, like the top 10% in the nation for excellence in specialty cardiac care. One of America's 100 best for heart care. A heart surgery program ranked among the top 2% nationwide and cited as high performing for heart bypass, heart failure, and heart attack. It's a system of healthcare that combines superb physician expertise with the latest technology, such as robotic cardiac surgery and hybrid operating rooms, the most sophisticated surgical environment in medicine, providing minimally invasive options for carotid artery disease and aortic valve replacement. The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is indeed in very good hands with the Heart and Vascular Program at Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Alongside G, I am Smitty back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network show for our Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff show. And joining us now are our good friends from Penn Trafford. That's Travis McKillop, T-Mac, and one of his studs, Dylan Barrett. Coach, welcome to the show. Dylan, love to have you here. Thanks so much for coming. Coach, talk a little bit about give us a recap from last season and then dive into the offseason, because I know Marky has a lot of curiosity about these teams in the offseason.
That's it, yeah. Our offseason's been great, you know. Took Squirrel, Dylan, obviously. I call him Squirrel in case you guys don't know that, because you see him play basketball. He runs around like a little squirrel. But he qualified for states. Hayden Coy ended up getting on a podium for me. Squirrel fell a little short, but, you know, that just gave us motivation for this year. We've been going – I took 2 months off, and then we've been going at it, and I've had a good turnout, you know. Last 5 years I've been there, had about 15 kids. I don't really have that much backup, but this year I got about 20, 21 kids, and they've all been showing up consistently, been going 3 days a week. Obviously the season started, so it's a good turnout, and it's looking good.
Good deal. Dylan, talk a little bit about the end, you know, a bit of a disappointing ending to last year and how that motivated you for this season.
Well, I mean, definitely disappointing. Like, I definitely went to place, came one match short. I mean, I just like mentality, just going into the next season is just work harder, do all the little things right, like sleeping, eating, everything right, just to get better and get in the podium this year.
So, you know, Coach, you know, last year 4-10 overall record, 2-3 in the section. You know, you placed at the Hickory Invitational, you placed at counties. You had, you know, guys go down the whips. As you said, you had Coy place at states. What's it going to take to improve on those accomplishments from last year?
You know, just as a whole, everyone buying in, you know what I mean? Not focusing so much on some kid's success, bringing everyone up, you know what I mean, in positions. But like I said, everyone's buying in. Everyone's working hard, and we're starting to get a solid foundation of a backbone of a team to hopefully improve on some of them from last year.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, this year, looking at your roster, I believe you guys have about 2 or 3 seniors on the roster. So who are you going to be kind of leaning on for that leadership in the room when you only have about 2 or 3 seniors?
Yeah, I mean, Tasso Whipple, he's a natural leader. I mean, it's just natural born on a football field, the wrestling team. You know, they lost in a quarterfinals. Whipple was a football, so glad to have him back in there. He's just natural, you know what I mean? Like I said, he comes in that room, the environment, the energy, it's different, you know what I mean? So he really brings that in. Squirrel, obviously a junior for me this year. Look to him, he leads in a different way. You know, Tasso is more of a wrecking ball kind of leader, and Squirrel is more lead by action, you know what I mean? He's doing the right things in the room, doing the right things out of the room in the classroom. So those are 2 guys I really lean on, you know what I mean?
Coach, you're big into heavy competition and fierce competition. Talk about who's on your schedule this year, what tournaments we're going to, and who we're really looking forward to getting back out on the mat with.
Yeah, we're starting off next weekend at Hickory. Different tournament, double A, a lot of tough double A schools that we don't see. You know what I mean? Not wrestling in the county. So there's some different faces there. Got into Brookfield duels this year. I'm looking forward to that. I wrestled back here in the day with old Marky over there. There's great competition from tough double A schools too. And then Powerade's obviously tough. You know what I mean? Love getting a Powerade. So get some battle tested before Powerade, and hopefully get there and can make some noise. You know what I mean, on a national scale.
Dylan, talk about your preparation for matches, specifically matches where it's going to be a grind. What is specific to how you warm up? Talk about the music you listen to. Are you superstitious? Do things happen in an order? Go ahead.
I got to answer that for him first. He's way too chill before a match. I know when I was competing, I was crazy psycho, but he's too chill. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said if it's going to be like a hard match, I know. Well, first off, like I always try preparing for the match, like no matter how hard it's going to be. But I honestly I don't listen to any music before I wrestle either. Like I just go out there, I just lock in, just like have a good time kind of. Well, but like it's like kind of like different. Like if you watch me warming up, you're like, oh, he's not really like ready, but like mentally like I'm there. I mean, it's just different. I definitely like to pace back and forth. But I would say before my match, I got weigh-ins, I get like a hard warm-up in, and then also like it's like back to the eating part, just like refueling correctly, and then after that I'll get ready, pace a little bit, do some like jumps and foot fires, and I'll be all ready to go.
How about post-match? Do you get in the back and we're running sprints or
yeah.
doing some steps?
Most times after the match, I'll like jog back and forth a little bit, maybe do some stance motion. And then also like refuel like nonstop. So
that was a great answer earlier, by the way. That was the answer we were looking for, hoping for, and I know Coach was. You prepare for every match as if it's that match.
Yes.
So that's awesome. What competition are you looking forward to this year? Who you looking to get out there on the mat with specifically? That's right. You're calling them out right now.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough question to answer because I always feel like I'm always looking forward to wrestle whoever go out there and wrestle. I'm looking forward to these tournaments coming up like Powerade, especially. I love Powerade so much. Last year I came up short placing in such good competition, so I'm looking forward to the kids wrestling there. Hickory, as Coach was saying, like new faces, so I love to wrestle different people outside the whip wheel that I don't see all the time. So I mean, we'll see how the season goes.
I like to kind of look at the numbers. So last year you were third in counties, third at sections, second in whips, two-time state qualifier. And you talked about your preparation going into the matches, but what type of preparation did you do in the off season, right? Because that's where a lot of that ground's made up, and a lot of those improvements can be made. What did you do in the off season to prepare yourself to get back to that ultimate goal, getting to Hershey and getting on the podium?
Yeah, I would say, so I did freestyle. After the season ended, I got right back into freestyle, still wrestling on the mat. But I focused on lifting, obviously strength and building my strength up, and then just mental, working on mentally preparing for matches, because I did some off-season tournaments and just mentally thinking if this was a season, how am I going to get prepared for the match, and that's basically just building myself up for the season and how I'll wrestle.
Switch gears to the environment in the room. What is our warm-up game of choice in the Warrior Wrestling Room, and who's the best and who's the worst? Go ahead, both. I want to hear both of your answers.
I just told D Hall this on his podcast. I said we might not be ranked number one in the country in wrestling, but when we play three-step, we compete with the best. All right. What do you think, Squirrel?
I would say we play that all the time. We play this game. We call it duo dodgeball. It's basically it's kind of like three-step. You have a partner, and you can if your partner's out, you can run around and it's kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to watch it, but that's what we normally play. It's kind of
partner dodgeball.
Yeah, it's partner dodgeball basically. And it's cool because you see the two guys, they stay together, the partners stay together the whole entire season, and you'll see the whole if there's two good partners that are good, you'll see the whole entire room team up on them and stuff. It's so fun.
And Logan Masterich, he's a great baseball player.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He can throw heat, heat. He just hit Jake Lang in the face. I thought he broke his nose. Yeah.
How'd you break your nose? Who'd you headbutt today? Nobody. I got hit by a ball.
Yeah.
Talk about hobbies away from wrestling.
Golf. I'm a big golfer.
Where do you like to golf at?
Manor Valley. Manor Valley is my
Indeed,
home course.
Manor Valley.
Because I was on the golf team this year for Penn Trafford. That's our home course is Manor Valley. So I work at Greensburg Country Club, so I like to golf there a lot too. But yeah, golf is a main hobby.
He beats me all the time.
Yeah. That is
Oh,
true.
yeah?
He does.
I'm going to have to put an outing together here, Flick. Coach, same for you. How about hobbies? Recently married. Congratulations.
Yeah,
So
thank
your
you.
hobby is
Thanks, guys.
happy wife, happy life,
Happy
right?
wife, happy life. Yeah, I'm an outdoorsman, like to hunt, like to fish. Just shot a buck this weekend for a rifle. So, yeah, let's
Good
go.
for you. I got a doe last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead, G.
So thinking, you said one of your hobbies is golfing, right? And with golfing, in which I'm not this way, but you have to try to stay calm when you're on the courts. Is that something that carries over into wrestling as well? It's just your mentality and your focus.
Yeah, I would say, of course, on the golf team, like you'll be golfing like with someone else, you'll see him like hit a bad shot, or, for example, and like you'll see him like get really mad. And I think wrestling, like with wrestling, like comes like a whole new mentality of like, so like bad things happen, and like same thing in life, like bad things happen, but like it's how you like respond to that. And I think golf is the same way. Like we hit a bad shot, like it's how you respond to that and like not be affected by the shot and like keep playing and worry about the next shot rather than the last one. So
Do you encourage the folks around you, your teammates and friends or coach, with that same mentality so that you all grow together?
yeah, especially this year as like a junior, like I could, it was easier for me to like mentor like the younger kids, and I would like tell them like it's not that big of a deal. Like always focus on the next shot, and like it's like goes with wrestling too. Like I've with the freshmen on the team, like I'll tell them like, just because you lost this wrestle off, don't let it affect you. Work harder so you can win the next one.
Being a part of a program like Penn Trafford, such rich history of great wrestlers going through that program. Who are some of the guys that you look up to, right, that you aspire to be like?
Well, obviously, like, if you look at the wall, so we have this big wall, like, in the room of all these names, and we'll be at practice just, like, sitting there, like, either, like, doing stance motion or something. I'll look up at the wall, and you'll see these names like Cam Coy, like, and, like, Shane Young and all those. Like, I obviously aspire to be those guys, but then there's other guys that, like, I was on the team with. Like, I'll see, like, Owen Knott and Joe Enoch and Hayden Coy on there, and I look up to them, like, still.
What's your least and favorite part of practice? Least
favorite part
and
of practice?
practice.
Well, it depends who's coaching, first off, because, like,
This sounds like a long story. Give us the Cliff Note version.
So, like, we got Travis. He's like we'll have a good game before practice, and then we'll like have like a chill like warm up and stuff, and then like technique. And then you got Larry. Larry running practice is a whole different thing.
He's referring to Larry Homan, who is one of the most intense dudes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so that practice isn't fun. All we do is like basically the whole entire practice is just a hard warm up, and we'll do like live at the end, and that's basically the whole practice. We'll do like hard hand fighting the whole entire time, so that kind of sucks. But my least favorite part of practice is probably just like the conditioning part at the end. But
What's your favorite holiday and why?
Oh, favorite holiday. I don't know. Thanksgiving's fun, except the fact that it's like right in the beginning of wrestling season, so you can't really eat that much. I love Christmas, love gifts, love spending time with family. So I would have to go with Christmas though, because like spending time with family, see family, presents and gifts, and just yeah.
He likes presents. How about you, Coach? What's your favorite holiday and why?
I gotta go Christmas too. I think getting gifts, giving gifts, it's fun. It's hard on the wallet though, but.
Wait till you start having little ones.
Yeah, next year that's the plan.
You won't have a wallet.
Yeah.
George, anything else for the Penn Trafford Warriors?
So, Coach, I do want to ask, outside of yourself, who's the biggest jokester and prankster in the room?
Yeah, I got to take that title too. I'm never serious. Who is probably the biggest? Who makes me laugh the most is Jake Lang. He's wrestling 33 just because he's so ditzy. He just cracks me up.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Hey, that is Travis McKillop and Dylan Barrett from the Penn Trafford Warriors. When we return back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, we will have our good friend Matt Leby and the Franklin Regional Panthers. Don't go anywhere. You're tuned in to the Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff Show right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer.
Merry Christmas!
It's the most wonderful time, oh, the most wonderful time of the year.
Get to Mike Hamlin Hyundai for huge end-of-year savings. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SE or Tucson SE all-wheel drive with 1.99% financing for up to 60 months. All vehicles are backed by the Mike Hamlin Advantage oil changes for life.
Back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, joining us now for our Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff show is head coach Matt Levy of the Franklin Regional Panthers. We have Henry Patz, Ethan Cartwright, and Mikey Ruane. Gentlemen, first off, thank you for joining us here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Coach, dive into a nice little 1-2 minute recap of last year and then how that prepared you and propelled you into your off-season workouts with the Panthers.
Yeah, last year I think we sat here and we talked about we had some great returning seniors, but we knew we had a bunch of young guys that we thought could be, really successful and have kind of break into, varsity and kind of show themselves right away. And that happened as we went through. We ended up taking third in the WPIAL overall as a team, and then we made it to the last day of the state tournament, finished in the top 8 at at the team state tournament, which was the first time we were back there in 9 years. So I think we had a great group of upper class senior leadership and a bunch of young guys that kind of all meshed well together and gave us a lot of success, and we got better as the year went on.
Coach, last year, I believe between 29 and 30 guys on the roster. You start the season off this year with 29 guys on the roster. How is it that Franklin Regional continues to reload every single season?
It's a great culture led by these guys that are up here, our senior group. It's not, all of them are not here. Henry's one of our seniors. I think that overall from our elementary program the whole way up through the high school, our boosters, everybody does a great job. These guys take great pride in, mentoring the younger, with our junior high school, and then kind of just keeps going that way. That really led by these guys, their families, and our overall program.
We'll skip down to the gentlemen. Guys, and you can all take turns with a brief response. Talk about the excitement, the environment that's happening in the Panther Wrestling Room. I know I've been seeing a lot of 5 a.m. workouts online, so I'm sure y'all are loving those. Go ahead.
I would definitely say the excitement is it's really fun always in the Panther Wrestling Room. Like, we always have a lot of fun. We always start with a fun game like Headbutt, for example, that we invented this game called Headbutt, and it's really fun. And then there's just always a lot of energy in the room. We're always just having fun. Everyone's supporting each other. It's just an awesome experience.
Yeah, to piggyback off of Henry, we do always have a lot of fun. Headbutt, we always get into it. It's really competitive. We get good games in, and then whenever we are wrestling, it's always good fun having games, and then we get good drills in. The energy is always really high in the room. It's good fun.
How about you, Mikey?
Yeah, just go off what Henry and Ethan said. We're always having a good time. It's always never not fun in the Franklin Regional Wrestling Room. If someone's having a bad day, everyone's there to pick each other up and make each other feel better. And just overall, it's just you're in the room, you're having a good time. You're not doing anything, you're not messing anybody up. Everybody's locked in, having a good time. Just good vibes overall.
Mikey, who's the outspoken leader in the Panther Wrestling Room?
Outspoken? What do you mean by
the one that's out verbally leading the team. There's some that lead by example, and then some that you're hearing from them. Who's that outspoken leader?
I think our outspoken leader is Chase Smith.
Okay.
I think he's very verbal, communicates to everyone very well. Everyone gets him, understands him. Whatever he says, people are like, all right, he says it. All right, we gotta listen to him.
Henry, who's the unspoken leader, the one that does it by example?
I would say we have a few of those. I would say personally, I'm a person that doesn't really. I don't talk too much, but when I do, my words are pretty wise. But I tend to lead by example, and I feel like my actions definitely demonstrate that. I'm always working hard in the room. I'm always working hard in the classroom. But another leader, I would say, would be Luke Ankney. Like, he leads by example a lot at the time. So yeah.
So Henry, being one of the seniors on the team this year, what have you done in the off season, or what are you currently working on that's going to help, get you over the hump for this season?
Definitely. In the off season, I was wrestling quite a bit. I was running. That's something I started in the off season, and personally, I think that helped my cardio and just my endurance during my matches a lot during this past tournament we were wrestled at. And I've just been trying to look up to some of the other leaders too, and thinking what would Ty or what would Bear do from last year? Because those are some big footsteps that need to be filled, and I think we have a few people on our team that are trying to fill those footsteps. But I've been just trying to look back and remember what they're trying to do too.
Can you talk a little bit about what are some of your plans post high school? What are you looking to do after you graduate from Franklin?
So post high school, I'm currently applying to the Naval Academy. And I had to get a nomination with either Summer Lee, John Fetterman, or Bob Casey. And I did all three of those interviews. They come out December or January. So if I get the nomination, hopefully I'll get in.
Best of luck.
So, yeah.
And, there's questions for all three of you guys. What's it like to be in a program like Franklin Regional, where, that's such a rich history of talented athletes. You get to wrestle for an amazing coach and Coach Levy. What's it like to be a part of that?
Yeah, it's always great looking up onto the wall. We have a big wall. All of the state champs, multiple time state champs. And then you got Spencer Lee. They just put up a Olympic silver medal up there, and then coaches, both wrestling college. Coach Leby was at West Virginia, and then Coach Sill at Edinburgh. Just a lot of inspiration.
Good stuff. Coach, go ahead, Mikey.
I was basically going to say the same thing. It's just knowing that what you're in right now is you're almost set up for success. If you're just following the program, follow what's what you're told, do what you're told, when you're told, you're almost guaranteed to do what you expect. What's the standard?
Coach Matt, let's jump ahead to the future. What's things look like schedule-wise, competition-wise for the Panthers?
Yeah, we actually wrestled this past weekend just with the way that the schedule came, and I think we talked before that, if you can make a run at the end of the year, which hopefully is one of our goals as a team, that we'd like to get back to Hershey. You go right into the section tournament this year compared to a week off. So we tried, from that point, we built our schedule back. We competed this last weekend at Valley. They had the kickoff tournament there, and it was great. We had a lot of success as a team overall. Guys got to make weight. It was tough right after Thanksgiving, but, again, we focus on time, control what we can control. Obviously, at first, we weren't happy. They weren't happy Thanksgiving, but, they kind of did what they were supposed to. Made weight, went out, performed well, and I think that got us 5 matches in for a lot of guys. Got to make weight, and then we go to the Trinity Duels next week.
Be a tough one there.
Yeah, there's great teams. Kiski's there, which is a great team, and I know they're going to be on here. North Allegheny, Trinity, one of the Eatery, I think McDowell. So there's a lot of good teams there. So we're going to get challenged right away, and then we go twice down to West Virginia for a dual meet tournament, and then down with a tournament, University High, which they're the defending state champs down in West Virginia. The Trinity will be there. Connors will be there right in the Powerade.
Now, Coach, is there a connection between you being a Mountaineer and returning back to West Virginia, perhaps some teammates that coach at those areas?
Yeah, University High School, Ken Mizell was actually, when I student taught there, he wrestled at West Virginia and was my teacher that I was with there. So he's the head coach at University High. He coaches there. Like I said, Connors will be there. Trinity will be there. So I think it'll be a really good individual tournament right away, then right in the Powerade, which we're excited to get this month started.
And Coach, could you talk about, just kind of the mentality in Franklin's room? It's almost like you kind of almost run the program like a collegiate level program, right? So what's that mentality like? How do you get the kids to buy in every single year, right? With that ultimate goal at the end of the season, okay, hey, as a team, we could set ourselves up to be wrestling in Hershey. Individually, if you kind of follow these steps, you could be wrestling in Hershey. Talk about that a little bit.
It all starts with the coaching staff. We got a great coaching staff. As he said, Coach Sill has been with me the whole time that I've been here as the head coach, even assistant before that. He's obviously, wrestles a bunch with the guys. He runs a lot of our technique and practice. So he's a great coach that we have. Ralph Petraka, Steve Strempel. Steve also wrestled at Clarion, was a head coach before Plum. So our coaching staff does a great job with these guys. And then the rest of these guys have high standards for themselves. These three up here, obviously we lost some big personality seniors that won a lot. And one of the things like Henry said, we have a leadership we think that comes from a lot of different direction. These three certainly are leaders we have on our team. Our other seniors, Nico Sarnik, he already mentioned, Luke Ankney, Chase Smith, another sophomore. So just not limited to them. We have a lot of leadership that these guys hold themselves to a high standard. So it's really easy on my part. I kind of, I'm just the person that happens to be the head coach, but it all starts with the rest of our coaching staff with these guys that the standard's very high.
Henry, let's jump down to you. What's your favorite academic class, and what do you want to study at the next level?
So my favorite academic class would either have to be like physics or any science-based class. So currently I'm also going to like Latrobe Airport, Arnold Palmer Airport, and I go there and fly because I'm in flight classes there. So like after I get out of school at 10:30, and I either do classes at like Seton Hill, or I also go to the like my flight instructor, and I do flight classes there, which is
you're
fun.
Actually flying?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Like
all right.
Single engine, or
single
double
engine,
prop?
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So that's exciting, but I would have to say science-based classes, and then I also want to major in aerospace engineering.
Ethan, your least favorite class?
My least favorite class has got to be English. I might be the least slowest reader like ever.
What are you doing to improve?
I don't know. I mean, reading books got to be like up there. And I need to start reading books more often. I like math and sciences like Henry, and not.
You're a STEM kind of guy. I get it.
Not into the books as much. Got to get more into it.
Mikey, what's your favorite food or meal?
That's really hard. I really like food.
If you had to pick your favorite.
My favorite food would have to be like a steak, probably like a good steak, like a rare. I like it bloody.
Now, what do you like? You like it bloody?
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So do I, brother. No sense in killing it twice, right? Now, do you try to get a good steak in you after a big wrestling match win?
After a big win, a steak is good. Like I try to have one usually if we have it.
All right, guys. Hey, that is our Franklin Regional Panthers. Be sure to keep an eye out for them this year. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Best of luck this season. When we return back here to our pop-up Christmas bar live from Marino's on the Westmoreland Sports Network, we'll have the Kiski area Cavalier boys and girls wrestling teams. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute.
Your next golf adventure awaits at Manor Valley Golf Course in Export. Manor Valley offers 18 scenic holes over gentle sloping fairways and the purest putting surfaces around. Manor Valley Golf Course in Export is the perfect place to host your next golf outing, banquet party, or shower. Manor Valley also offers league play and great membership rates. Tee times available. Call 724-744-4242. Visit ManorValleyGC.com.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Quest School of Wrestling has been producing champions on the mat and in life since 2001. Come meet Coach Jim Akerley and see why Quest becomes family for your wrestler. They've produced many successful championship wrestlers by teaching student athletes about dedication, discipline, and competition, which ultimately makes them better people. Call 412-352-3727 or QuestSchoolOfWrestling.com. Quest School of Wrestling, with facilities open all year round in Washington, PA.
All righty, we're back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network with assistant coach Matt Keebler of the boys wrestling team. Down on the end, we have the head coach of the girls wrestling team, Justin Tresco, Ava Golding, and Mark Gray in the middle. Thank you so much for coming out here and joining us on the Westmoreland Sports Network as we continue our coverage of the Westmoreland County Kickoff Wrestling Show. Marky Kazanowicz, Marky K or Kaz, is joining me now. Coach, talk a little bit, give us a recap on last season and how that helped prepare you for your off-season training, getting you ready for where we are today.
Thanks for having us first. Obviously the last couple years wasn't up to our expectations, obviously, but the amount of growth that we showed last year from beginning the season to the end of the season, I think that, along with not reaching the expectations, really drove us into the off season. We took a couple weeks off, and then we were back at it 3 days a week since probably like June. And the guys, the excitement of this year, not losing a whole bunch of guys from last year, and also, like I said, just the expectations and the freshmen coming up, and with who we have returning, I think it's just really exciting time this year.
Coach Tresco, talk a little bit of recap of last season and how that prepared all the girls to know what they needed to do this summer to get ready for this season.
Well, I'm just taking over as head coach for the girls this year, so it's kind of new for me. We're just going in.
Let's skip over that then. Talk about your plans to be successful this season. You have a stud sitting next to you there with Ava. You have a natural-born leader. Talk about your preparations to get them to where their goals are this season.
We're obviously, Ava's been around a long time. She's wrestled for many, many years. Having her as one of our leaders and having girls kind of follow what she does. We've been conditioning for almost 2 months now, so she shows up in the room and the other girls see, they can see how she works out, and that just helps out a lot.
Awesome. Ava, I'll go to you. So last year as a sophomore, 31-5, you were the WPIL champ, took third in the PIAA. What have you done in the off season and transitioning into the regular season now to get you on top of that podium at the PIAA tournament this year?
Yeah, I've just been working a lot in the off season, mostly doing a lot of freestyle national tournaments and stuff. I haven't pretty much taken a break since states, and I went to Super 32 and national duels, and I think it really helped prepare me for this season and just practicing every day through the summer.
Where do you train at? I'm sorry, I cut you off, Marky. Where do you train at? Who are your favorite training workout partners around the area?
I train at Silent Victory, and the compound or Young Guns runs through there. And my main practice partner is Sophia Davis from Plum, but I wrestle with the boys too from the different schools.
So you said you went to the Super 32 this offseason. Was that your first time competing at the Super 32?
Yeah.
And if so, how was that experience? Because obviously that's the tournament of all tournaments in the off season for men and women.
Yeah, I was definitely really nervous, and my goal was just to win a match. So I went 2-2, which I would like to do better next year. But it was a good experience, and it definitely helped me realize that I'm up there with the other girls.
Awesome, Mark. I'll transition into you. Columbia commit. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
You pull your weight in the classroom as well, so congratulations to you for that. 7th place as a sophomore 2 years ago. Last year you battled some injuries, fought through it, stepped back out on the mat for individuals, and I give you credit because you were beat up and you fought and you won some matches, so credit to you for that. How are you feeling health-wise?
Now I'm definitely 100% everywhere. I feel much better, and I'm super excited to finally wrestle a full season this year. Last year I can't use the injuries as an excuse. I had some time to prepare for individuals, just didn't perform how I wanted, but with a full off season and a full season ahead of me, I'm super excited about it.
Coach Keebler, give us a preview into this season. What big competitions, whether it be dual meet tournaments, individual tournaments, or just duels in general, are you and the Cavaliers looking forward to?
First off, this weekend we're at the Trinity Duels. There's going to be some great matches there. As Coach Leby said, Franklin's there. They're going to be one of the top teams in the Whitfield this year. We're looking forward to that match. Trinity's there. Whitfield champion last year, and North Allegheny's there. Those are going to be those are the matches we're looking forward to. We have our duels the following weekend. We always, anytime wrestling in your home gym, it means more. And then the Burl match, we wrestle Burl. The Saturday.
That's a full slated day. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so we've tried to do this for the last couple of years. We wanted to do it like on a Saturday, have the match, and make it a full day of AK Valley wrestling. We're going to have youth matches, we're going to have junior high matches, we're going to have girl matches, we're going to have varsity matches. Just kind of bring the spotlight onto the AK Valley. The tradition both teams have is pretty unmatched. In the Whitfield, and just to have guys there and make it a day. So
that's December 21st, 2 p.m., and your crew right here will be in the house for that one.
Yep, and it's at home this year, and hopefully Burl can do that again next year. And I just think it's something just to continue that tradition would be awesome. And then we're back in Powerade, so that first month's pretty intense. So,
Coach Tresco, same question down to you, sir.
Repeat that question.
Competitions that are coming up, the competitions that you're looking forward to.
Well, we're looking forward to all of them. Well, we're trying to, we got a lot of juniors with us, this year, so we're trying to build all of our girls and just kind of seeing how they can compete and where we need to build, and what spots we need to build and things like that. So we're looking forward to all of them.
How many girls are on the roster?
We have 10.
10. How many weight classes are there for girls?
13.
13. So you have 10. So you're almost at a full slate already.
Yep.
Good deal. Yeah, Marky.
Coach Keeber, you mentioned not losing a lot from last year's team. The excitement this year. I've seen you guys compete. The upper weights in your lineup, to me, are one of the best in AAA. They're going to carry you in a lot of duels this year. So seeing these teams like Trinity and North Allegheny, Connellsville early, that's a great kind of measuring tool to lead you guys into the postseason, where I know you guys expect to be, and I do as well.
Oh, for sure. From 160 up, I don't think there's a team in the state that's better than us, double A or triple A. And a lot of times, that's been the staple of our program. But a lot of times, they're catching up. We're down a little bit going into those matches, and those guys, there's a little bit more expectations of them. Fall. But now I think we have such a balanced team this year. If we're even close going into 160, the match is over just because of what we have up top this year.
Mark, obviously a lot of culture, deep history, success in the wrestling room that you train in every day. What's it mean to you to be a Cavalier and that feeling like some days you just can't get it right? And how do you dig within that environment to get your head where it needs to be to get better that day?
I feel like a lot of kids from other schools don't have the program also behind their back every day, and knowing that I can walk into practice and have the coaches looking at me every day, always checking up. They check up on all the wrestlers all the time. We've built a family, and I've been in high school for 4 years now, and I'm starting to really feel that.
Now, do you get to enjoy a trip down to the elementary schools? I know Coach Heater's very big, and continuing to fill the lower pipeline of wrestling. So he sends a lot of you guys down to the JO practices, or if you win a state medal, you get down to the elementary school and tell these kids that could be you. Talk about that experience a little bit.
I haven't done that yet this year, but I'm hoping that I do get to do that, especially after I win my state championship this year. But that does sound like a lot of fun to do, especially as a way to give back to the program.
Ava, when did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling in 3rd grade.
Do you remember your first wrestling match?
Yeah, I had 2 practices before my first tournament, yeah.
Tell us about the match. Did you win, lose? Do you remember who it was?
I think I placed 4th. They were all boys. I wrestled for Mars when I first started wrestling because I went to a Christian school, so I co-opted with them.
Do you want to continue to wrestle in college?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Where would you like to go?
I'm not really sure yet. I've been talking to some colleges and trying to narrow it down. I don't want to go too far, but I want to to go to like a bigger school, which is sometimes hard with girls because there's not as many programs. But I'm just like trying to visit and talk to as many colleges and see what seems right for me.
Now, Mom and Dad are here. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Golding. Talk about them while you're wrestling. Are they crazy? Are they quiet? Are they hiding?
My mom has to mute the videos after she videos them, so you can't hear her. So that's
See, Dad, you're not the only one. Go ahead, and then talk about Dad.
And my dad's pretty cool. He's always supportive if I win or lose. I never have any pressure as like if they'll be mad at me or not, which is relieving. But he's very encouraging, and we always pray together before each match, which means a lot to me. And yeah, he's just always there for me. And he thinks he knows what he's talking about, but sometimes he doesn't. But he tries.
Have you kind of taken on that role at Kiski, trying to get more girls involved in the elementary, junior high into wrestling, so you can build your women's program up into a powerhouse within WPIL and PIAA as well?
Yeah, I think we have a really good group of girls. Other than me and Alyssa, pretty much they're all first or second years. But we're all friends, and I got my friends into it, and they're starting to really like it, and they come every day. They went through the summer, and they're just really dedicated to it. So I hope we have a good season.
Mark, talk about your warm-ups. What, wrestlers tend to be very superstitious. What are you listening to in your earbuds? What's your regimen as you prepare for a match?
I actually have stopped listening to music before match day. I feel like.
Why?
It just takes away from the focus and the intent on the actual match rather than just, I'm trying to hype myself up. It's more like
I like it.
I got to focus on what I'm going to do out there, so when I go out there and do it, it works.
Do you warm up the same, whether it's somebody that you know is not going to be very competitive versus a grind match?
Yeah, it's all the same. Consistency is key there.
How about you, Ava?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. I do listen to music.
What do you like to listen to before you go out?
I just have like a wrestling playlist. It's just a lot of rap, pretty much.
Okay.
Like high intense music. But dual meets is a little harder because I'm like wanting to watch all of the matches and cheer everyone on and be there for everyone. So sometimes I don't even realize I'm up. But I try my best to get ready for each match the same.
What's your dream car? What will Ava Golding
my
have?
dream car?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get a car. I get my parents' car, so.
Okay. Talk about any pets.
Oh, I have a dog.
What's his name? His or her name?
Bailey.
You love her?
Yeah, she doesn't like me, but she's a Pomeranian and she's really mean.
Because you're sharing Dad, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm not the favorite. Not at all.
Mark, how about you? Your dream car or truck? Got a dream vehicle?
I honestly don't even know how to answer that question.
These guys are humble. They don't think that far ahead, and that's exactly what I wanted to uncover. This was done intentionally. So I have to bring it down to something that they do love, food. What's your favorite food, Marky?
Steak, T-bone steak.
Wow, him and Dylan Barrett sharing steaks. Now, do you like to go get a big, juicy steak after a big win?
Yeah, it's always a big meal after a big win every time.
Here's the most important part of the question. What's the temperature of your steak?
Oh, you're not going to like this at all.
Oh, it's killed 6 times, is it really?
7.
You use A1 sauce too? He used to say A1 sauce too. Ava, your favorite food?
I'd probably say either like a good burger or pasta.
Marky, go ahead. Wrap it up with the Cavaliers,
Mark
please.
and Ava, you're stuck on an island with one person for 24 hours. Who is that one person and why?
You can go first.
I don't know.
How about your training partner?
No.
No,
I don't think we can't go practice without getting into it, so I don't think that would work.
Oh, so you all get into it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. That's good competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. You still haven't answered the question yet.
I'm thinking. Probably my best friend.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
I'm trying to think of like celebrities. I'll take my dad with me. I'll take
There
my
you
dad.
go. Any big hobbies, like any surprising hobbies that either one of you have that you want to share?
Go ahead.
I play chess every now and then. Like to play poker.
Okay. Go ahead, Ava.
I bake and I work a lot throughout the summer.
You're a baker.
Mm-hmm.
Smitty's a big baked goods guy.
I am a big good guy. Hey, we had so much fun with our Kiski area Cavaliers. When we return, we'll have the Greater Latrobe Wildcats right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Keep it here.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
It may be small, but it can bear over 4,000 times its own weight. And that's just the door hinge. Sturdy design, all the way down to the smallest detail. The Taos. Hop in. It's a VW.
For a great deal on a new 2024 Volkswagen Taos, visit Sendell VW in Greensburg. SendellVW.com.
I am the swiftest creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. A Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
There's a place between exotic and exhausted, a sweet spot, and it's here we find the 2023 Kia Forte. Sporty, fuel efficient, and highly affordable. And right now it's mail Kia lease a Forte LXS for $259 a month, or buy and get 2.9% APR for 48 months. Plus, every new Kia comes with $500 off MSRP and the Kia 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now it's mail Kia.
Back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, Marcus Onowitz, I am Smitty. Joining us now are the Greater Latrobe Wildcats head coach Mark Mears, joined by Braden Bronson, and then we have Liz Wilson, and then Coach Fry down there on the end. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us on this beautiful Sunday. How about that big Steeler win, right? Threw up over 40 points. Coach, let's dive right into a recap of last season, the performance, how the goals were met, and how that prepared you to get your guys ready during the offseason to where we are today.
Well, I think we were very happy with our performance at the end of the year. We didn't go as far as we wanted to in the team race. A lot of that was the seeding. You know, us and Franklin Regional, everybody knew was going to be a very good quarterfinal match, and they were a dynamite team, and they deserved what they got. But we were also proud to come home with 3 state medals. The only team in the WPL AA or AAA to do that, and they all 3 returned this year. So leading into the offseason, when you have that kind of leadership and returning state qualifiers to show the younger guys, it lends itself to building a pretty solid base. And honestly, believe it or not, this will be my first year at Latrobe that we will have a full lineup. We've never had a full lineup. We've always
you've always been one shot.
Everything we've done has been 1 year without a 14-pounder, 1 year without a 7-pounder. This year, not only do we have a full lineup, we have depth, and we can move guys around. So I personally feel really good if we stay healthy about what our team's capable of.
Now, Coach, was that getting people in the right place below the varsity program that helped build that pipeline?
Yeah, we're blessed. I mean, we have an extremely good junior Olympic program right now led by Steve Bell. I mean, anytime you have a 2-time Division I All-American leading your JOs, and I mean, let's face it, JO programs are at the mercy of the dads that are leading it. You don't make money coaching. None of us do. You lose money in youth sports. But those guys, Coach Stass is down there, and Coach Coach Piper. They have a lot of guys that are doing a great job. We have a great junior high staff with Steve Dominic, and now we brought on Jake Schaefer this year, who was a 4-time state qualifier from Latrobe. So any head coach that thinks that they're the answer building this dynamite program is full of themselves. You're surrounded by help, and especially the things I'm going through with my family, my staff has been unbelievable. But you're right. It's the base. I always say, here it is in a nutshell. You can only build a beautiful house on a great foundation. And the JOs provide that foundation. And then we build from there.
Coach, first year taking over as the Wildcat skipper. Talk about your squad, how the lineup looks, and the excitement for the upcoming season.
Well, we have 17 girls right now signed up. That's 6 more than last season.
And this is the second year for wrestling.
Yeah, so last year
Liz, are you responsible for this? Are you just lassoing them and bringing them into the room?
I've done a lot of recruiting. I thought our team was a little small last year, so trying to get some more, trying to just encourage them, show them how fun the sport is.
Now, there's 13 weight classes in girls wrestling. Are you going to fill every single weight class, or do we have some depth in some areas?
There's a couple gaps. We have a lot of girls towards the heavier end and towards the lighter end, and there's some gaps in the middle there.
Okay.
But yeah, we're trying to fill it up the best we can, move the girls around a little bit, especially for our dual meets. But for tournaments, doubling up on our weight classes as well.
Talk about the environment in the room. A lot of excitement around girls wrestling now just becoming sanctioned here in the state of PA and some of those upcoming competitions that you and the girls are going to go compete at this year.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. Our first one, we're going to Hickory on December 8th, so next Sunday. And the girls are really excited. Every practice, they're in there like, when are we going live? When are we getting into this? They're ready to drill, and they're doing a lot better this year compared to last year. It's been great.
Now, will you train with the boys too sometimes?
We haven't.
Try to keep it separated, at least during your sanctioned school practices.
Yes,
try to keep it separate.
There have been times where girls have come in outside of practice time with some boys, and they wrestle with each other and help each other. Yeah.
Braden, talk about your off season and how you are getting yourself ready for the upcoming season.
So just been training all off season, either a club or with the team.
What kind of training?
Either wrestling, lifting, getting all kinds of training in. As a team, we worked out some this summer. Really got some good weightlifting with Coach Mears, as well as some team practices. And a lot of guys go to camps. We had some guys do some intensive camps over the summer.
Did you do any competing over the summer?
I did a little bit of competing at. I went to Virginia Beach with the club team.
Okay.
I think that really helped.
It's a fun tournament down there. A lot of kids, isn't there?
Yeah.
Liz, how about you? What did your off-season training look like?
Pretty much as soon as the season ended, the girls, we started lifting over the summer, doing stuff like that. We kind of all realized what was ahead of us, and we didn't kind of understand how challenging wrestling was going to be last year. So now that we see what it's like, we've all been training super hard, putting in lots of work, conditioning super hard. A lot of the girls, we have practice from 5 to 7 at night, so we just stay after school and we lift and condition. So, yeah, we're super excited for the season because we've been putting in a lot of work. So.
Great. Looking forward to seeing y'all out there this year. Go ahead, Marky.
So for Liz and Braden, what are your goals as a team this year and individually? Liz, we'll start with you.
We're definitely excited for having counties this year for the first time, so we want to make our mark there, see what we can do.
Where is that competition this year for the girls?
Greensburg Salem.
Greensburg Salem.
Is it going to be simultaneous?
It's going to be simultaneous with the boys.
That's big news. I did not know that. Keep going.
Yeah, so we definitely want to make our mark there and get as many girls to state as possible. Getting what we had last year was really good, but I think we can get a lot more in this year with how much the girls have been working, and we have a lot of potential, so I'm ready to see what happens there.
I know with the team we're filling all our weight classes, and we've got some pretty good depth. So I think we really want to make another run at a county title, possibly, and then go as deep as we can in the team playoffs at the end of the season.
Coach, couple of big rule changes for high school this year. Finally, we get to wrestle the entire wrestling mat. Talk a bit about that, and then the near fall rule changes. You excited? Love them?
I like
and the 3-point takedown. I'm sorry, forgot about that.
And
big
4
one
back
too.
points. I said
So are you a fan?
Yeah, I think so, because that's what they're going to hit at the next level. And you might as well train for what you're going to be doing. I'm a proponent of expanding the point spread maybe a little bit, because I think you're going to see a lot of tech falls quicker. maybe make a major higher 10 or 12 like down the road, because I think you're going to see so many more points scored. But I think you're going to see a lot of aggression because the first takedown is big now. I mean,
Sure.
and
You
we
could be up
joked
6-1.
Well, we joked in the
Two
room
takedowns.
the other day, and well, not really joke. Went over. I said, "Listen, there used to be a day you were up 5-1 and you were on top, but the kid got out. All right, he took you down. You're still up 5-4. Well, now it's tied. So you got to ride. You got to ride much better." But I like the inbounds rule with one sporting point. It takes away all the controversy from that. And
Makes the officials' job a lot easier.
yes, and I asked the officials at the rules meeting, I said, like collegiately, are you counting on the way to the mat now? Because if you wait to get down there and then say 1, now that there's a 4 count, if there's only 6 seconds left and you wait and you miss a count, I said, you should have had 4 back points. You're going to get 3. So I think the pressure's on them to keep pace now too. They're going to have to pick up the pace of what they're doing. And I think guys are going to have to learn to wrestle. But I'm a fan of it. I think it's going to bring more excitement and more action. I think you're going to see a lot of, to be honest, I think you're going to see in high school a lot of fast tech falls. I just think that's going to be the nature of it. You don't get to recruit the kids in. But at the same time, I think you're going to see a lot more excitement.
A lot more scoring.
Yep.
Now, does that change the way you coach your guys, whether it's in match or in practice, that the scoring system's different? I mean, you have some guys on your team that are some high-scoring individuals as is.
Yeah.
So does that impact how you coach your team at all?
Yeah, we've already changed some things in practice, and we're working on for example, in pinning, getting things a lot tighter the first time. You're not going to get 3 or 4 turns. You're going to get two this time. You got to do this right, and how to attack on the edge of a mat and where you better be because of the 3 points coming. So we are, and honestly, like I said, we're focused a lot, and I don't know what other teams are doing. I know what my team's doing on riding. We're going to learn to ride because the longer you can stop them from getting out for 1 prevents that next 3. I mean, you could potentially take somebody down to their back, get 7 points within 6 seconds. I mean, it's not over. There's never going to be a match out of reach until. So we're working on very tight pinning combinations and a whole
Even
bunch
tilts,
of riding.
because you're
Tilts,
getting that
yep.
extra bonus point for a 4 count instead of a 5 count that only gave you 3. And we'll explain all of what we're talking about maybe later on, but definitely during the wrestling matches. So if anybody's confused, don't worry, we'll get you through that. Let's move. I want to move it down to you, Braden and Liz. Your excitement from the competitor level on some of these rule changes, the out of bounds, the deerfall update, as well as the 3-point takedown. Is it exciting for you all as well?
Yeah, I think it's definitely exciting. Just offers more of a chance to be aggressive and keep those scrambles going, even when you're close to the edge of the mat. Otherwise, you would have been cut short. Just gives you that chance to score.
Definitely, I'm excited about 3-point takedowns. I love scoring points. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I like doing that better than getting a pin. So that's going to be great just to keep taking them down. So excited about that.
When did you start wrestling, Liz?
I started last year.
Did you? Was your first year? Do you remember your first match?
I do. I was very nervous about it, but I just went out there and did what I had to do. So
Did you win?
I did. My first match I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. Now, your parents, your family, how are they? Where are they when you're competing? Do they hide? Are they at the edge of the mat screaming?
Oh, my dad loves it. He's very
Was he a
into
wrestler?
it. He was not a wrestler. None of my family was, so it's kind of out of character from my family, but they've all just jumped right in, and they love watching me do it. So.
Braden, same question for you. Talk about how your family reacts when you're wrestling.
My dad's definitely more involved than my mom. Mom's pretty quiet. She sits back and watches.
I've got to chuckle out of Coach Mears. There's definitely a story
that might
there
be the
for
biggest
later.
understatement of the whole show. He's a good man.
Good deal. Go ahead, Marky.
Liz, what's it like having Coach Fry in your corner now this year? Tell me how she's kind of had an impact on you and the other girls in the practice room.
She definitely just makes us feel welcomed on the mat. Like, it's scary for us because it's something brand new. We've never done it before. It's uncomfortable for most girls, but just having her there just gives a level of comfort knowing that we have someone for us no matter what. So it's very nice.
And Braden, talk about having Coach Mears in your corner. He's done this for a number of years at multiple schools and won a lot of matches. What's it like having a veteran like that in your corner?
He's definitely great. You know, he's been with championship teams. He's been around. He's coached championship wrestlers, so having a guy like that in your corner is always great.
Who's your favorite professional athlete, Braden?
Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente?
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. Your favorite car, Liz?
Well, my favorite
Dream
car is definitely the one that I have. I have a
The one that gets you
1999.
that is such a good
The
answer.
one that
I
runs.
love it.
The
Yes,
one
the
that
one that
runs.
gets you to A to B. What is it?
I have a 1999 Jeep Cherokee. So
Nice. Good for you. Now, what presets are on your radio right now? What channels?
the country station. So I
All
got
right.
on.
I love it. We had so much fun with the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. When we return, we'll have the Greensburg Salem Golden Lions coming up next right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Keep it here.
I've been young as a long time. I've been within the room with some really good guys in college now, and I'm excited to see them come back and help in some of the camps we're going to be going to.
I've been going to these camps my whole life. I've jumped levels. The stuff I learned there I use every single day.
Choosing an early childhood development program is a big decision, and Seton Hill University is here to help. At Seton Hill's Child Development Center, your 3, 4, or 5-year-old will have fun while developing social skills, self-confidence, and creating a foundation for learning. Here, we foster a mastery of life skills that will prepare your child for success in any endeavor. Learn more about the Seton Hill University Child Development Center by visiting setonhill.edu/childdevelopment.
What keeps me coming back to Comrades is I know I'm going to get a good haircut every time I go there. And I know the people are going to be cool there, the vibe's going to be cool, and it's just going to be an overall good experience.
Consistency in haircuts, great atmosphere, everybody's friendly. It's like cheers, everybody knows your name, and it's always a good time.
I always walk in and I'm like, I wonder what the vibe's going to be today. And I'm never disappointed.
Back here to our pop-up Christmas bar at Marino's American Eatery. George Carter back on the set with my man, Randy Parsley and Keegan Young. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and joining us after that big Steeler win today. Coach Parsley, let's dive right into a recap of last season, preparations during the preseason to get to where we are today.
Well, we were going preseason pretty much all since September, since school started. Some of the kids that weren't playing fall sports wanted to get in the room. We got in the room, working. With only 10 guys, it's kind of hard to get prepared for what you got to do because you don't know where, weight people are going to wrestle. We had 1 football player and 3 soccer players, and then whatever we had left, they'd come in. So, they worked hard. We're getting ready. We can do what we can do. With 10 kids, that's it.
So will the 10 kids fill different weight classes, or do you have some bunched up?
Well, there's none bunched up. They're fit different weight classes. 2 21-pounders, they can go 21, 27. It's not a big deal. And we got a 60 can go 72, and 72 go to 89. So, we can find a way to maximize our points by getting these guys in. But, the future's looking up anyways with the junior wrestling in the middle school.
I've heard about that. Talk a little bit about who you brought in down at those levels to begin to build that lower pipeline of future success for the Golden Lions.
No, it wasn't like I brought him in, but Billy Smith is taking control of the more advanced guys. And we got Dejan Herzog, an ex-Greensburg wrestler, ex-UPJ wrestler coming in, helping out with the program, and just, some of these other parents that have wrestled a little bit. So they have
enough knowledge to help out at that level. So, and then Perry Miller, of course, is kind of running the show, but Billy's doing the instructing. Patrick Hutchison would step down from my assistant this year, is taking over some of the coaching duties at the junior wrestling because his son and daughter are wrestling. So
Okay. Who was Coach Hutch's replacement, Pars?
Mike Reinhardt, senior.
Okay. Go ahead, G.
So, you know, Pars, 41 years total coaching at Greensburg Salem, 26 at the helm. You know, last year, the program, 2-10 overall, struggled a little bit, thin numbers. What are you doing this year? You guys started out second place earlier. Actually, that was it this past Friday, Saturday, at the Southwest Kickoff Classic. 7 wrestlers placing in the top 6. You had a champ. What are some of the goals moving forward? You don't want to call it a rebuilding season, but numbers are low. So what are some of the goals that you guys have going into this season?
Well, really just get the best out of each individual. We just, we struggled a little bit last year. We had 2 or 3 matches that we tied but lost on criteria. We were getting pinned instead of losing. And, so you forfeit 3 or 4 weights and you get pinned in 2, it's kind of tough to win the dual meet. So our goal now really is just to kind of stay off our back, and we are much better at that this year. But, we know what we have in front of us, so we just got to, try to, the matches that we wrestle individually, we got to, hopefully we can win those. And if we lose the dual meet because we forfeit, that's all right. As long as the kids give me their max effort, I don't care we win or lose. As we get better, even with you guys wrestling for me, you knew the end of the season was the most important part. So all we do now is practice for February 15th. And then we can get moving from that point on.
Yeah, Keegan, starting your senior year, last year down at 145, starting out at 152, 54 and 47 overall, 23 and 16 last year on the season. You placed 5th at counties, 2 back-to-back 5th place finishes at the sections. I believe you're 2-2 now on the season. What type of things did you do in the off season to prepare for your senior season?
Really just trying to find the time in the summer between football workouts and then work. Just really trying to find the time to come in the room during the summer and really work on the small things. And something Pars really likes to reiterate a lot. He just said it. Everything from now until the section tournament is just practice, and that's when the real season really starts. So just kind of like tuning into that. So yeah.
Now, taking that approach to some of these matches, as far as it's just practice, right? It's just another match to prepare you for the end of the season. Has that allowed you to be able to wrestle a little bit more freer out there, looking to score more points, looking to kind of take what you're doing in the mat room and put it into place on the mat?
Yeah, 100%. I've definitely noticed, even within the 4 matches that I wrestled just this year, how much more calm. You really like wrestling it's all mental, and if you really limit the mental game, you can go far. And so yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about what are some of your plans post high school, right? We know you're a pretty good football player, right? So is football in the cards? Or are you wrestling in the cards? What type of things are you looking to accomplish after high school?
Right now I'm in a class. It's the pre-apprenticeship program, and I could potentially get an apprenticeship after high school, and I could go to a company and they could pay for my college. So, but sports, it's all 3 of my sports are still on the table. I mean, if I can get an opportunity there, I'm not going to waste it. So yeah.
What's your apprenticeship then? I'm curious.
There's four pathways with the German American Chamber of Commerce, and I'm kind of taking more of a sales opportunity with manufacturing. So I'm gonna be working during school hours. So yeah.
Now, do you want to go far away for school, or would you like to stay close?
I would like to stay closer. I'm
family guy.
Yeah, I'm a big mama boy. So
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
I can vouch for that. Yeah, he's a big mama's boy.
You have a lot of mama's boys on your team, Parks, or you have had, I should
Yes.
say. For sure.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Sorry, but
Still call my mom
Sorry.
every day, don't I, Mom?
Yeah.
Go ahead, G.
So the apprenticeship, you said that so you could either go that route or utilize sports moving forward. So what are some of the things this year that you're looking forward to, like either big tournaments or certain matches that you have kind of circled on your schedule?
I wouldn't say there's anything like really in specific, but I just kind of want to prove to myself that like I can do it and prove to everyone else out there that Greensburg Salem isn't just like a free win, easy win. So I just want to, I just kind of want to, like, as a team, prove who Greensburg Salem is.
Are you excited about some of the new rule changes with the 3-point takedown, the 4-point near fall, the out-of-bound edge wrestling?
Yeah. I think that's going to be a huge factor in this year's season.
Is that going to benefit you and your style of wrestling?
Yeah. I think
Also,
I'm, like, I don't want to say more of, like, a flashy wrestler, but, like, I'm definitely not, like, a wrestler who's going to go out there and just start pounding you, so, yeah.
How about you, Parks? Same question for the rule changes. You excited about them?
Not really. I don't like them.
Okay. Not even the out of bounds? Makes it a little
the
easier?
out of bounds, yeah, but that's still a referee's judgment. You know,
Still makes things a little
they say,
bit easier.
okay, you know, as long as 1 foot's in, but if it leaves the mat, you're out. Now the referee's got to see that. Like, come on, don't. If you're going to change the rules, make them easy for the referee to be able to handle it. And as far as the 3 points and the 4 points, we saw it this weekend.
A lot of tech falls.
It was 11-0 in the first minute and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got a really good kid and you got a kid that's average.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's going to get the average kid say, I don't want to do this no more.
Sure.
Or I'm not wrestling that guy because he's going to embarrass me. And it's taken away from the pins because people just, I want to score 15 points in the first period and get off the mat.
Sure.
But, you know, rules are rules, and I always hated change anyway, so, you know. I mean, of course, those rules will be good if my guys get to take down the back points real fast. You know.
He hated the change when George and I left Greensburg Salem as wrestlers. I know it was tough for him. So.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. Go ahead, G.
So, Coach, I'll ask you, what events on the schedule are you really looking forward to?
Well, really, all of them, because we have a good group of 10 kids. And I just want them to go out and perform. We got Upper St. Clair on the 14th. We get 6 goals over there just to see them go out and compete. You know, everything. Because we don't have a team that can win the counties or any of those other tournaments, but we have a team that we can be excited for when they go out and wrestle in dual meets. You know, win or lose, if they go out, and like I said earlier, if they go out and perform, that's okay by me. You know.
Keegan, talk about your teammates or perhaps even yourself. Who's the vocal leader, that one that's always chirping, getting everybody motivated? And then who's the teammate that is more of a lead by example leader?
I would definitely say I'm kind of one of the more vocal leaders in the room, but it's kind of tough to kind of like designated leaders because we only have 2 seniors this year, me and Ethan Miller. So really what comes down to being a leader on our team is like showing up and putting effort. Like using Sadie Sarver as an example last year, she was one of our captains, and it was just because she truly just showed up and put through the effort, and that's really all we can ask.
So what's the pre-practice game of choice for warm-ups in the Golden Lions Wrestling Den?
So we play this game. It's like a mixture of like dodgeball and we call it kick dodgeball. So you just like kick this little dodgeball, and it can't hit the ceiling where you're out. And we have like a bunch of different rules, so it gets intense.
Why can't you hit the ceiling?
Gaga ball?
No. Gaga ball is like.
Oh, that's the one.
The one with like the
yeah.
And you're like octagon. Yeah.
I'm not involved in it.
So the jump ropes are no longer there. The leather jump ropes with the hardwood handles.
No,
they're not there anymore.
Well, I don't know if we have anybody that can
Those
jump
weapons.
ropes.
Yeah, that's how we warmed up. We jumped rope. Now they're playing dodgeball and stuff. Go ahead, G. Another minute and a half to go.
So what's your meal of choice, either post match or pre match?
Pre-match, something I really started to like look into is like what really truly like benefits you, because like if you eat junk right before your match, you're gonna not feel.
You're gonna wrestle like junk.
Yeah, you're gonna wrestle like junk. I tend to eat strawberry and honey. I'm a big honey guy, so that's something I kind of picked up last year, and I just ran with it because it truly does make a massive difference.
And what about post-match?
It all depends. I know last year McDonald's came out with the double Big Mac. So after the section tournament, me and my friend Cooper Dan, we went out to McDonald's and got some double Big Macs. So might not be the best, but yeah.
So eat so healthy beforehand and then just throw it out the window
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
All right. Hey, always fun chatting with our good friends, the Greensburg Salem Golden Lions, right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. When we return to our Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff show live from the pop-up Christmas bar at Marino's, we'll have the Kiski School Cougars coming up next.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer.
Merry Christmas!
Yes, the most wonderful time, oh, the most wonderful time.
It's definitely very important, like for high school, because a lot of kids, get peer pressured into drinking and doing drugs. So, like doing the events like in a school setting, I feel like definitely like try to prevent kids from like going to like parties and drinking and driving and doing drugs and being peer pressured.
We just want to, talk about the dangers of the substance abuse in our community, and we want to help be a part of stopping that.
You have pain? We have the answers. You want to feel better? We provide the relief you need. The Rehab Center Chiropractors Caring for Health. Our state-of-the-art facility and our experience in caring doctors provide expert analysis and a customized treatment plan for each individual. The Rehab Center, Chiropractors Caring for Health, with locations in North Apollo, Kittanning, Lower Borough, and Clarion. For more information, visit our website at therehabcenters.com.
Back here to Marino's American Eatery in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Jeff Shaw back up on set with me. We're joined now by the Kiski School Cougars, head coach of boys and girls wrestling. Now, yes, that's right. They do have girls attending the Kiski School. Is Joe Ross. We have Josh Silnitzer from the boys team and Lily Turpin, who's about to start breaking some records because she's going to be the first girl to take down, first girl to ever step on the mat, etc. Coach, let's talk about the boys. Kind of give a brief recap of last year towards the end of the season, and then how that helped you and the boys get prepared for the upcoming season to where we are today.
Well, I had to change modes with the wrestling. We started focusing towards soccer. So what I did, I just actually started going in the dorms and stuff like that and finding wrestlers. But the good thing about that is I have 30 kids on my wrestling team, and that's a big progression from what it used to be.
Sure.
And I had to sort of basically, how can I say this properly? I had to temper my expectations. In other words,
the bar came down a
exactly.
little. Sure.
Get out of the first period, wrestle a whole match, etc. But what has happened through that, we have sent in the past year and a half now. Suleiman went to Columbia. You knew that. Mm-hmm. Well, Zach Silnusser, Josh's brother, he's now wrestling for Washington Lee. So our objective at Kiski, our primary objective at Kiski, is to send our kids to the best available college possible. In other words, use wrestling as a means to a beginning, not a means to an end. And that's where we are today. So what I'm hoping for these guys, Josh, I'm hoping is going to follow his brother in his footsteps. And Lily, like you said before, she's going to be the first girl that's ever going to wrestle at a national tournament for us. And the funny thing about this is I've coached Lily when she was, I think, 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
So that's kind of
So you're
scary.
a local gal. Yeah. Okay, we'll get to all that in a second. Go ahead with the addition of the girls team. How many do we have on that roster, or is it a work in progress?
What is 1 of 25? What's the percentage of that?
Low. But that's okay. That's okay. That gives you a bar. You set the bar now, and now you know you got to go get it. And I know you will.
Yeah. We're after it. Yeah. The one thing that we understand is Kiski, we sort of had to change gears. You know, times have changed. It's not the same. And the addition of girls, I had 2 boys that went to school there, and we were somewhat apprehensive. I had one on one side, one on the other side. But we have found out is that with the addition of girls at Kiski, it breathed new life into the school. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, the boys are awesome, the girls are awesome. My wife, who's here, she works in the library also, and the library's full, which is awesome. And the best part about this whole thing is I drive a van full of boys. I've been doing that for 21 years now, and it doesn't smell like onions anymore. You know, so yeah. It's a good thing. So the boys it's refreshing. Yeah. Literally refreshing. Yes. They have the girls on campus, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I feel good about it, and the school actually feels really good about it. So it's working. It's working well.
Good. Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, Coach Ross, I've known you for years and years. We don't do a lot together, but I've known of you, and you've done this for 21 years. And what I love about what you've done at Kiski Schools is you've been so consistent with your morals and your values and everything you preach to your athletes. And that's refreshing. That's why you get the commendable young people that you get out for your programs, and why Lily is now going to be, you know, the first female wrestler. And we'll talk some more about that. But I just wanted you to know that on behalf of the wrestling community, I appreciate everything that you've done consistently over the years. Talking about your record a little bit, you were 6-8 last year.
Yes.
You know, records are never what we want or hope them to be sometimes, but there's always positives that happen, and I know that's something that you preach year in and year out about the positives that each athlete takes away. You have to do a lot of traveling, though, right? And how hard is that to put your schedule together?
Well, we just come back from Maryland,
right?
At a scrimmage. So we went to Maryland for practice. So let me think about that. And to put our schedule together, we leave. I actually have another coach with me. His name is David Bjorn. Was my predecessor actually. He's come back, and we've been coaching together for 2 years now. And he's been taking care of all of that stuff. And I'm going to tell you something. The crazy part about myself is, you telling me that we were 6-8 last year. I had no idea. That's not important to me.
Yeah, because you don't put the emphasis on that. It's the
I had zero
moral and small victories, correct?
Exactly. And my objective is, like you're saying, is make young men and now women better people. You know, I'm not saying I was an angel. Most of you guys, if you've known me, you know that I was no angel. So my objective is to make better people out of younger people, you know, and it seems to be working because they come back and they see me. They come to see me, and I appreciate that.
Good deal. Josh, switching gears down to you and Lily. Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm a local kid. I'm from Monroeville, PA. I actually wrestled in the county over in Allegheny County for my whole childhood at the Gateway School District before I came to Kiski as a freshman, where I've been for the last 3 years and plan to attend next year.
You play any other sports, any other activities, maybe extracurriculars?
Yeah, I'm a 3-sport athlete there. I play football, and I also throw for the track team.
Okay. Lily, moving down to you. You're a local gal then too, right? Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
I'm from Clarksburg, PA, between Salzburg and Blairsville.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Play any other sports, any other activities?
This is my first year doing soccer for Kiski. So it was a new experience for all of us.
No, but you've been wrestling for quite some time.
hmm
Do you remember your first wrestling match?
Not really, no.
How old were you when you started?
I was 6 years old.
Who got you into it? Mom, dad, friends?
My parents, because they coached me when I was younger, so.
Did they wrestle?
hmm
Oh, did Mom wrestle too?
Yeah.
Mom's here. Okay. Hi, Mom's taking video of us. Talk about what you're doing to build the roster over there in Salzburg to get more girls out onto the team.
So this one girl I tried to convince, but she was like very like tempted because it's like the first girl of first year of girls. So she and she's never wrestled before, but I like to get girls that like never wrestled before. It's something new. It's like something really fun to try. So I'm like glad I tried it. So.
What grade are you in?
9th grade.
9th grade.
Mhm.
Plans after college? I know you're 15, maybe. Plans after, maybe a little bit too soon. But do you want to go on to continue education, get a job, compete?
I definitely want to get an education, find a good job to help me like support my life in the future. So.
How about you, Josh?
I'd like to own my own business. That was a main goal for my life. And the other thing I'd like to do is, well, if everything works out 100% in my life, is start a business, and then when I'm older, come back and teach somewhere and give any knowledge I have to the new generation of kids.
I love it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jared, Jeff.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Josh, you've been wrestling since when?
I've started wrestling in 2nd grade.
Okay, so you went through the Gateway Youth Program and started there a little bit. What are some things that you like about wrestling at the Kiski School and under Coach Ross?
I like that he doesn't care about wins and losses. When you said 6 and 8, as Coach said, I didn't even know that was our record last year. And every day when we step into the room after a match, it's never, oh, we lost this match because of this. Ooh, it was a great win for the team. It's always, here are the things that you guys need to work on. Here's the things that you guys did good, and we're just going to keep improving all week.
Okay, so that kind of leads me into my next question. Do you know your record from last year? You were 7-3.
Yes, I was. I did know that.
Good. So you did very well. You had 6 pins and 1 decision. So you had a decision with Summit Academy wrestler, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you, because he's a junior also, is he somebody that you put out there and say, I can't wait, I hope I get to wrestle him again this year? Or do you take the philosophy of, I just like to line up and wrestle whoever's across from me?
I mean, I just like to wrestle whoever's across from me. I could care less who it is. I mean, I could care less if it was a D1 wrestler standing across from me. It's just always fun to get back on the mat.
I can just see it in your face. You just have a great demeanor. You're just smiling. You're happy. You're ready to go. And the fact that you want to be a business owner, I mean, that tugs at my heartstrings a little bit too. So that's good. I hope that works out.
Who's a wrestler, perhaps, at the college level that you look up to?
Well, I think the biggest one is my brother, who's sitting right over there playing on his phone. He's been a big one for me. And another one was Bo Nickel was, if I had to say, my favorite wrestler growing up watching as a kid.
Why?
Just flashy pinner. Just like seeing it as a kid.
You still follow him now in his career and what's
I've
happening?
been watching him doing MMA. It's been great seeing him having success in his career. It's been a lot of fun watching him in the octagon.
Coach, couple minutes left. Let's talk about the upcoming schedule. What's coming up next for the Cougars?
You probably know better than I do.
Okay. I don't, but that's okay.
All I know is that we're going to practice and get ready for it. Like I said, Dave actually handles all the logistics now. Me, I deal with the kids in the wrestling room.
Every day in the room, okay.
Exactly. But piggybacking off of what Lily was talking about is trying to get the girls to wrestle. What tempted her to wrestle again, I work at the gate also, and I talked to her mother and father, understanding that was Lily. I didn't realize that she has grown so much. That's the crazy part. And I asked her to wrestle. She was a little apprehensive about it, but then I said, do you know that wrestling is the fastest growing sport in the country right now? I said, and there's probably scholarships out there. That's what lit her parents' eyes up. So basically, wrestling is helping Lily build those blocks for her future. That's what we're using it as, a stepping stone.
I'd like to ask you two favorite hobbies outside of wrestling. What do you like to do? Ladies first.
I like to get outside as much as I can, learn new things, work on school, so I'm not more prepared for it. but mostly just like outside.
Outdoor activities. Well, Kiski School was definitely in a beautiful atmosphere. If you've never been there, I suggest going to visit. How about you, Josh? Hobbies outside of school and wrestling?
Well, when I'm at home, I like to just relax, play some video games, take a good break. But when I'm at school, it always seems that something's finding me. Whenever I'm in the dorm, there's always somebody at my door. There's always somebody to hang out with. You're always just around doing stuff. There's never a second to just sit down. It's a lot of fun being in that type of environment.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's always a good time with the Kiski School Cougars. Again, welcome to want to welcome the girls, and then our first ever girls wrestler, Lily Turbo, Josh Silnitzer, and Coach Joe Ross. Thank you so much. When we return back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, we'll have our good friends from over in Alverna, Southmoreland, coming up next.
Our digital partners at westernpasports.com deliver high-quality action photos for sporting events happening in and around Westmoreland County. Visit westernpasports.com this winter to view stunning photos of high school basketball and wrestling that makes you feel like you're in the gym. WesternPASports.com also provides full photo coverage of all Westmoreland County Coaches Association events. Share photos from their social media pages on Twitter and Instagram at Western PA Sports.
Your next golf adventure awaits at Manor Valley Golf Course in Export. Manor Valley offers 18 scenic holes over gentle sloping fairways and the purest putting surfaces around. Manor Valley Golf Course in Export is the perfect place to host your next golf outing, banquet party, or shower. Manor Valley also offers league play and great membership rates. Tee times available. Call 724-744-4242. Visit ManorValleyGC.com.
All right, Uncle Jeff joining me back up on set for the Southmoreland Scotties. We have head coaches Tristan Ice down there, Terry Quashnock just to the left, joined by Landon Delara and Juliet Ice, the younger sister of Tristan. Coach Quashnock, we'll get started with you. Your first year at the helm, but you've been around the block a few times out there. Give a brief recap on last year's season and how the preseason training is going so far.
So last year we had a really solid team. We had a lot of younger guys. They've been putting the work in the weight room in the off season. Definitely focused a lot on conditioning, trying to really hammer the strength and conditioning this year for the new points and stuff like that. That way, train for 12 minutes, not 6. But yeah, that's
good deal. Coach Ice, we'll move down to you. Your first year as the skipper of the girls team. Talk about the experience so far and how you got the position.
Well, it's only been about a week so far, so obviously nothing too crazy, but just getting in the room, getting after it.
How many girls are on the team?
I believe 11 at the moment.
11. So out of 13 weight classes, we have 11. Now 11 weight classes filled, or do we have some log jam?
I think we have about anywhere in between 8 to 10 filled. I know as of now we have 1 or 2 wrestle-offs, but pretty spread out.
All right, let's go to Sissy. Juliet, talk about your experience with wrestling. When did you get started?
I started last year. I was a little bit late into the season, so I didn't get a lot of experience. I only probably wrestled for 2 months. but I've been working all off season, and I'm ready to get after it this year.
Are you having some success getting out in the hallways, perhaps hijacking some student athletes from some other sports to come join the wrestling squad?
Yeah, a lot of me and my teammates, we definitely have got a couple new. We have 2 new seniors, I think, and we have 1 new junior, so she has 1 more year after this one.
Good stuff. Do you play other sports, Juliet?
Yeah, I play volleyball and I run track.
Okay. What events do you like to do in track and field?
I'm more of a distance runner, so I do anything from the 800 all the way to the 2 mile.
She likes to run.
Well, I expect your conditioning to be pretty good. I'm sure Coach expects your conditioning. And Coach Ice, your brother, shaking his head no.
Ice,
How
baby.
So you've had a change happen in coaching from last year to this year, obviously. Tell me about the dynamic between you and your coach/brother. Is that working out okay? I mean, do you guys get along, or is it just a good sibling rivalry, or how's the dynamic between you and Coach now?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been close ever since I was little, but it's a brand new deal in the room. I mean, he's always making little jokes at me, making fun of me, but I know that it's all out of love because he's always there to help, and he's always there to help my teammates too.
And I'm sure he's your biggest fan. Is he the one that got you interested in wrestling?
Yeah.
I'm sure you attended all his matches as you were growing up, and is that what inspired you, or who inspired you to get into wrestling?
Well, I've always been around wrestling because he's been doing it forever, and then I had an older sister who also wrestled for about 2 years, so watching him, my parents, they urged me to do it, so I thought it was my time.
Are there any more ices coming up, or are you the baby?
I have a younger sister. I'm not too sure if she's going to wrestle yet, but I'm hoping she is. Fill a spot in the lineup. She's an 8th grader right now, so she'll be a freshman.
Now's the time. I'm going to hold you to it for next year's kickoff show. She better be sitting here. Let's switch over to Landon. Landon, talk about your recap on last year's season, how you felt about it, what you did during the summer and the fall season to get yourself ready for today.
Yeah, so last year I went 1-2 at regionals, so that wasn't too bad. Pretty happy with it, especially coming back from knee surgery at the beginning of the season. This year, over the off season, kind of been lifting like every day, making sure my conditioning was there because that was a big problem I had last year. Wasn't really in too great a shape, but this year I was making sure of that. And I also got to play soccer this year, which helps with my conditioning. I didn't get to do that last year. But yeah, I've also been wrestling probably at least 3 times a week over the summer and then into the fall too. So
that's what you play, soccer, and then you wrestle as well?
Yeah, soccer and wrestling.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
So this is your 4th season, right?
Yeah.
For wrestling varsity?
Yeah.
And you've been in 3 different weight classes. Do you expect to be in the same weight class this year as last? Because you wrestled 160 last year, right?
Yeah, 160 last year. This year I'm probably going to go up to 72. Got a little bit bigger over the off season.
Sure.
Eating a lot, lifting a lot, putting some weight on because just trying to get bigger. But
Right, so new coach for you as well,
Yeah.
though Coach Terry's been in the room with you all along, right? What are some things that are different that you like, that is helping you? Do you have anything that's really different the coach is doing with you and the team in the room?
Yeah, so we lift every day at the beginning of practice now, which I like a lot. And we do a lot of conditioning and like harder pace stuff, which is nice. I think we'll be in shape this year. We focus a lot on neutral too, like the 3-point takedowns this year. That'll be good. That's about it.
Coach, back to you. Talk about the roster, the lineup that you have this year.
So we have a really solid lineup. Like I said earlier, we have basically our whole team coming back.
How about the depth in the junior high programs?
So our varsity, we actually had 33 people sign up this year on our varsity boys team. We had 13, I think 13 to 15 signups for the girls program, and then our middle school is right around 20. So
and that JO program looking strong
right
too.
Around 50, 60 kids, solid on all levels.
Great,
right
bright future for the Scotties then.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yep.
You've had some people come back and help with the youth program. If I'm is it Evan that's back helping, or was that just last year? Or?
So that was mostly last year. He's got a job that really doesn't allow him to be here as much as he'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I have reached out to them, to him and his dad, and they will be back at some point to help out this year. And we have most of last year's coaching staff returning. Even Coach Boring's going to be around. He's still local.
He can't leave.
Yeah, he can't stay away. So we love having him there, though. He's a great guy, and he's helping this transition for me, go smooth. And the parents and everybody are real supportive. The boosters have been great. The administration, everybody's been real great.
And I'm sure that'll be, sorry.
No, go ahead. You go.
I'm sure that'll be helpful, especially when December rolls around for the Christmas tournament, right? You're still going to be hosting that, which is a huge event in wrestling every season, is the Southmoreland Christmas Classic. So it'll be helpful to have Coach Boring around to help with that.
This year's actually the 25th anniversary of our tournament.
Is that right? And correct me if I'm wrong, was that started by Benko years back?
I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds about right.
Yeah.
He'll be helping out this year too, so.
Yeah.
Coach, upcoming schedule. What are we excited for this season?
We open up with AG. They're always a solid program. They always got some guys that are tough. Our section changed up a little bit, but I think we have a lot of potential in that section. I think we should finish top 2, and then definitely make some noise in the playoffs as a team.
How about the Christmas Classic? One of my favorite Christmas tournaments of all time that they host at Southmoreland. I know it's a lot of work for the host school to put on, but it has to feel so good to wrestle that tournament in your gym, especially because the level of competition has really increased.
Yep, it's actually been tough to try to keep the level of teams. We actually have too many trying to get in. That's how much the competition is. And I'm really excited for it. I know it's a great thing for our program and our boosters and our school to just have that tournament and be so successful over the years and continue that.
Sure. Landon, talk about the Southmoreland Christmas Tournament.
It's a tough tournament every year. Always get a bunch of good matches in. Last year I got 6th. I ended up forfeiting out the last match and a half. Kind of my knee was bothering me a little bit, but I think it'll be good this year. Have some good teams coming, so.
Now, is there a girls' part to that tournament yet, or is that something that maybe we're thinking about?
So we did have a girls' tournament, but this year Connellsville's taking it over, and we're going to kind of do Connellsville this year, and then next year Southmoreland will do it.
Oh, nice. Bounce back and forth.
Numbers are a little bit down this year, so we just wanted to try to, balance it out a little bit.
Okay.
Juliet, what are your plans now, or goals, if I might ask, for this season coming off of last season? You said you've worked on some specific things. Will you be wrestling in the Southmoreland Christmas Classic tournament, or are you going to just stick to the girls' tournaments, or how is that going to work for you, along with what goals you've set for yourself?
I'm definitely going to stick with the girls' tournaments because I think that's going to give me the best experience. But for my goals, I would definitely say I want to pick up some wins, and I want to see myself at Hershey this year.
Oh, very good. And then also, Landon, for you, what have you put in place to help you evolve this season into your senior campaign, right? I know we talked a little bit earlier about what were some of your favorite matches or tournaments of last season, and what are you looking forward to this year?
So probably my favorite match of last season was my match to make it to regionals against Eric Kovac. Great match, 4-2 at the very end. Real tough kid. This year I've been working on my neutral a lot, really getting that good because those 3-point takedowns. I'm excited for it, and I think I'll do good this year.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but you went back and forth with Eric Kovac.
Yeah.
And he was a senior last year. Do you know that you handed him his last loss of his career?
Yeah, I do know that. I felt bad. He was a great kid, came up to me after the match and said if he was going to lose to anyone to not make it, he was glad it was me. So
that makes you feel good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, he had your number twice, and then when it counted the most, you were able to make it happen, right?
Yeah, you got me 2 times earlier that year, so kind of proud of myself.
Let's flip it over to the less wrestling, more about you two. Talk about some hobbies outside of wrestling in school. What do you both like to do? Go ahead, Juliet, ladies first.
When you don't find me in the wrestling room, I love to hang out with my friends on the weekends. I'm very big on academics, all my homework, all my grades. I try to be a straight A student. I think right now my GPA is like a 3.9, so definitely want to keep that up.
Good for you. How about you, Landon?
I like to lift and run, but I like to play soccer too. That's kind of fun. Over the summer, I go fishing a bunch.
Talk about. Let me see. What's a good question for you? Your dream car.
My dream car.
Yeah, or truck.
I'm not really too much of a car guy. You know, I don't.
Nobody here's a car guy.
No, that's not my thing.
Okay. How about you?
I'm hoping to have a Jeep, any kind of Jeep, preferably pink.
Hey.
Very nice. What's your favorite subject in school?
I'm definitely big on English because that's what I'm best at, so.
I can tell you speak very well. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
How about you, Landon?
I like anatomy.
Wow.
Okay. Do you want to? What do you want to do after school?
I plan on going to college and studying exercise science. So.
Okay, that's exactly what I did, and I was very good at AMP.
You have any schools in mind?
I don't know yet. I'm still looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks so much. That's the Southmoreland Scotties. When we return, we'll have the kids from right down the street. That's the Hempfield area Spartans. Coming up next from the Pop-Up Christmas Bar, live from Marino's American Eatery, and you're tuned into the Westmoreland Sports Network. Thank you.
At Smale Kia, we're expanding, as in raising the roof. We're building something amazing. But for now, we'll be working out of tiny little trailers with off-the-top savings. Like a 2025 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive, lease for $259 a month. Or a 2025 Kia K4 LXS, only $195 a month. Plus, get 0% APR financing on select 2024 Kias. We're taking savings to a whole new level at Smale Kia.
At Marino's American Eatery, we have one focus: you. Just like home, our dining room brings the whole family to the table with a truly unique menu prepared fresh, in-house. At Marino's, we know beer, with 16 beers constantly rotating on our taps. We take pride in supporting only local, independently owned craft breweries. Come experience Marino's American Eatery in Greensburg, Westmoreland County's local craft beer destination.
Along the arc of a woman's life, there are many passages. Growing up, chasing dreams, building a career, embracing wisdom born of experience. There are times that make good health and well-being so vital. We provide care that helps women thrive at any age, at any stage. Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The OMP system is designed to help enhance wrestling skills for athletes all over Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio. Our techniques teach wrestlers to develop muscle memory in a wide range of areas in order to connect multiple skills together from moderate to advanced. We strive not only to develop better wrestlers, but also better students and teammates with life lessons that will outlast their days on the mat. Above all, it is our passion that sets OMP apart from the other clubs. For more, check us out at ompwrestlingclub.com.
Back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, Jeff Shaw, Smitty here, joined by Brian Capusta, his son Nico Capusta, Nate Caracciolo, and Ty King. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and joining us here this evening from our pop-up Christmas bar at Marino's. Coach, your first year at the helm, but you've been around the program for a long time. Talk about the transition into the new head coach.
Yeah, for sure. I've been probably with the program for 10 years right now, with junior high, helping out at the high school. And I think the best part right now is that the kids that are all juniors, when they were 8 years old, I was running them through the JO program and did a lot of privates for them. So I kind of know, they know my expectations. And I think that they know, or I know theirs. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, so how excited are you? Your last stint was, correct me if I'm wrong, Norwin as a high school coach, correct?
Yes, it was. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, right? But like you mentioned, you've been with this bunch of guys through youth and middle school. And how rewarding is it now for you to be back with the group that you did so much for and with for all those years? I mean, you bring in so much experience and knowledge. 2-time state champ, 4-time All-American, 3-time national champ at, North Dakota State. So how rewarding is it for you to be back at this level, especially being able with the kids that you've been with for so many years?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I guess I've had opportunities to coach before. I think Hempfield is where I needed to be, and I think that we have a really good program. The kids have been really well, doing really well. We started preseason a little late. I was a little bit late of a hire. Brandon Rapp at our AD has really helped me get the ball rolling and things that I had to take care of. But preseason went really well, and I'll tell you what, I feel like we are in really good shape right now, getting ready for the start of the season.
Talk about the start of the season. What do we have coming up here before the Christmas break as far as competing?
Yeah, so we are at the Top Hat Tournament this coming Friday and Saturday. Really good tournament, a lot of tough opponents there, and a lot of tough teams. So I think it's a good start for us. We have some guys I think that can do really well. But again, it's a tough tournament. We'll see where we're at after this tournament.
Yeah, it is. It's a good, really good. I was glad that we got into that some years ago, and I loved going to that tournament. And the competition is great, especially right out of the gate. I'm going to come back to you, but let's go right down the line here. Obviously, people can see Nico. You sustained an injury earlier on in this year, which hurts your coach and your team a little bit because you guys, I know, have had a nice 1-2-3 punch right out of the gate. So Nico going 25-10 last year, making it state qualifier. I believe you were 1-2. So you had some high expectations going into this season. Unfortunately, they may or may not come to fruition. We're going to just see how this goes. But what is your role now this year for the team now that you're injured? What are you doing to help your teammates down the road here?
Yeah, I mean, I've been at practice almost every day, and we've all been friends since we were super, super little. So being able to just help everyone doesn't really matter if it's one of our first-year guys or it's one of these guys that I can nitpick and just try to get better and just try to make everyone better and just get our team back to, up on the higher whip wheels and do good up there, so.
So it's actually like Coach Nico now, right? You get to stand back.
Little caboose there,
yeah. Stand back and actually view it from a coaching standpoint and see the things that are going right or not going right, so you help out that way, right?
Yep.
Nate, I'll ask you next. 2 years ago, was with you guys last year. You started off the season at your first tournament 2-2. Your next tournament, I think you were 2-3. Powerade come along, and then you turned around and got 6th at the county tournament. Is that right? Yep. What are you doing now this off season and now to improve upon that? As far as what are your goals and what have you done to work toward those goals?
I think I've really practiced the most I've ever practiced over an off season. I've been lifting, and that's kind of a lot of it. I didn't really do tournaments, gave myself a break, and get a fresh start for this season.
How do your lungs and legs feel with taking that new approach?
Feel good. I'm ready to get started.
Good, very good. And then Ty, I was with you 2 years ago. We had the magical state run for the team stuff, right? You, along with all your teammates for that matter, I can still remember those matches that you had during that team run against would have been Trinity and Butler and then Connellsville. That match, the 5-4 win you had, I mean, everybody's win or just decision was so impactful in that season, but I can still vividly see, because you were kind of like, as a freshman, an underdog or a not thought about type of wrestler, but you had maybe a 500 or a match over 500 that year, but your matches were very critical in what you did in them. Same question as I had for Nate. What have you done in the off season to propel you to have a better season this year? And what are some of your goals? Because I think you come back and had in the county, were you fifth? Fourth or fifth in the county tournament? So again, what have you done or doing?
Really over the off season, I've really focused more on lifting because I feel like that was such a weak part in my game of strength. I just feel like I was getting overpowered. I just really focused on lifting, conditioning. Really wasn't much wrestling, but with the strength, I feel like I've really come around this year with it and have adapted more to people's strength and all that.
Very good.
Who's the leaders in the room? You have those vocal leaders, the ones that like to, they'll give you some crap, and then you have some that just they're more silent, kind of like your Lucas Capusta was. He wasn't so much a talker; he was more the leader by example. Who are those two different type of leaders in your room today?
I feel like, me and Nate, I feel like I've taken a big part with Nico being out, but Nico, I think, is our biggest leader still, even though that he's out. He's one of the most motivational people we have in the room. He's always on us, correcting us, pushing us, everything. But like me and Nate, when he's not there, I feel like we take that role in and really try and just push everyone.
Yeah, and that's going to bring me back to you, Coach. Very young team, no seniors, mostly junior leadership. So, new coach at the helm, you probably have a new game plan, new philosophy. What actually are you doing, or what have you changed, or what are you implementing to get the most out of these guys to have the best push you can this season, and then ultimately take your heavy senior loaded class next year into where you want to get to?
Yeah, I just think right now the technique has been really good. I feel like they worked really hard. They're really paying attention to what they're doing. And these three right now have really stepped up to be leaders. Again, I'll say it, Nico, I think at the end of practice, the kids probably want to kill him because he's on them hard. He's screaming at them. And again, it's motivation, right? And I'm sure after practice, it's like, hey, thank you for getting it done. But these other two with Ty and Nate have really stepped up their game. I didn't name really a captain this year. My main captain is Nico. Nico is our only state qualifier. Even though he's injured, he's still there. But Nate and Ty are two of the guys that have really, stepped up their practice. They're going hard. I never have to look at them twice and say, hey, get to work. But I have that with the whole team. Most of the team is really busting their butt. I've been really, really excited about, especially the first week of practice was amazing.
And that comes from them being around you and knowing you and you having, they understand the expectations. Have you changed anything specifically? Now, I've heard them say lifting has been a big thing this year, lifting big thing. Has there been anything else that you've implemented that has been a drastic change from what has been done in the past?
I don't know what's been done in the past, but we have practices run for an hour and a half. That's it. I don't want to overdo it. I know there's some practices or teams that go 2 hours. We don't need it. If we can get the work done in an hour and a half, why stay? So my philosophy right now is get the work done, in the room so we can get out of there. Even on Saturdays, practices maybe an hour and a half. Just get in there, roll around a little bit. It's been really good for the kids, and I think they know that if they bust their butt and they get done, we don't have to spend 2 hours, 2.5 hours there.
Some pretty big rule changes within the PIAA this year. Are we excited for them?
I love it.
How about you guys? Which one's your favorite? Go ahead and talk briefly about one of them.
Definitely the three-point takedown, because I just feel like that's my biggest part of the game, just being able to work on neutral and get to my takedowns. I feel like that's my biggest part of the game, so I'm really happy about that.
I like the 4 back points because I like to cradle a lot. So
okay,
I'm a
yeah,
big
get an extra
guy.
bonus point out of it for less than a 5 count, right?
Yep.
How about you, Nico?
Yeah, I love it. Like last year, I was just a big pace guy, just stay on someone, score as many points as I can. So getting up 7-0 right away if you can, it really shouldn't be able to lose from that. So
who's the clown on the team?
probably jokester, maybe like a Dom Woods, just throw some random jokes out there that are funny, but I feel like all of us, we're always laughing, having fun.
Close-knit team,
yeah, that's
good
one
culture.
thing. One thing, we're like super, like at the end of practice, it's family on 3 every time. We're just super close, know how to have a laugh, but then when time comes for practice, we know how to get it done and get to practice.
What do you guys like to do as a team or family outside of the room? Like, do you guys get together, go bowling or go hunting, things like that, golfing?
Yeah, I mean, us 3 will hang out a lot. I know me and Nate are in like a closer friend group. We're always together hanging out on the weekends doing stuff.
Talk about what's our game of choice for a pre-practice warm-up over there on the field.
Definitely 3-step or
I've heard
handball.
a lot about this 3-step. I have no idea what any of these games are, but I'm going to ask. Go ahead.
Or handball.
Handball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big ones.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my favorite's definitely 3-step, just because I feel like that's when I'm moving around the most, getting warmed up and all that.
The warm-ups have definitely changed since we were in college, Coach.
I never warmed up like that.
Yeah, no, neither have I. Neither have I. Talk about your staff before we close it out with you. I know there are some other replacements.
Yeah, so Coach Roy Reese, who was with Hempfield a couple different times, he is one of the assistants. And Chad Falo, who was the assistant last year, once the position opened up, he texted me and was like, hey, do you think they'll hire me? And I was like, well, let's see who gets the job, but I'll talk to him. He's a very good guy. He brings a lot of fun to the team. and he's always there. Again, he loves the sport, and I think that's why I came back. I love wrestling right now. I like to get back to the kids, and that's really important. That if I don't love it, why am I there? So I don't help the kids.
Good deal. That's the Hempfield area Spartans. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Good luck the rest of the season. When we return to the Westmoreland County Wrestling Kickoff Show, we'll have the other half of the AK Valley. That's right, the Borough Bucks, coming up next right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Quest School of Wrestling has been producing champions on the mat and in life since 2001. Come meet Coach Jim Akerley and see why Quest becomes family for your wrestler. They've produced many successful championship wrestlers by teaching student athletes about dedication, discipline, and competition, which ultimately makes them better people. Call 412-352-3727 or QuestSchoolOfWrestling.com. Quest School of Wrestling, with facilities open all year round in Washington, PA.
Get to Mike Hamlin Hyundai for huge end-of-year savings. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SE or Tucson SE all-wheel drive with 1.99% financing for up to 60 months. All vehicles are backed by the Mike Hamlin Advantage oil changes for life.
What keeps me coming back to Comrades is I know I'm in a good haircut every time I go there. And I know the people are going to be cool there, the vibe's going to be cool, and it's just going to be an overall good experience.
Consistency in haircuts, great atmosphere, everybody's friendly. It's like cheers, everybody knows your name, and it's always a good time.
I always walk in and I'm like, I wonder what the vibe's going to be today. And I'm never disappointed.
I am the swiftest creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. The Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Back here on the Westmoreland Sports Side, we're joining us now are the Borough Bucks, joined by head coach Steve Ansani, Chris Stewart, the head girls coach. I'm assuming his daughter, Bella Stewart, and then we have Luke Boylan right there next to Coach Ansani. Coach Ansani, I'll get started with you. Your first year at the lead of the Borough Bucks, but not your first year around the Borough Bucks. You've been around the program now for about a decade. Talk about that transition and what it's been like.
Well, the transition's it's been pretty easy. The transition's been pretty easy because I've been there for 10 years, and I know the kids pretty well. And, we're just going to keep the same routine that we've always done with Coach Shields. And so, again, like I said, the transition's pretty easy.
Coach Stewart, the new girls wrestling coach at Burrell. Talk about that transition.
It's been really good. We had a lot of girls come back out again. We're in our second year. We're really excited. They're working hard and getting better. And it's a lot different because we're not teaching move. We're teaching wrestling now. It's way different than it was last year. And we're really proud of them and how hard they come into the room, work hard, and we're seeing big improvements with them.
Now, as I saw Bella push the mic up because you didn't have it up, I have to ask already, what's the dynamic of daddy-daughter like in the wrestling room? Go ahead. No, well, yeah, let your dad start, then you go.
It's very interesting. She did wrestle when she was a little bit little, and took a few years off, and then when we started, she came back out, which is fantastic. Sometimes we do butt heads, but the girls do follow her lead, and she does work hard, and really, really excited to see what she can do this year. And she's a really good, solid foundation for our program moving forward.
How many wrestlers are on your roster now?
9 now.
9?
Yeah.
What are we doing, Bella, to get that up to where it needs to be, around 20?
Well, as it's just starting out, we try and get as many people. Like, if they want to try it out, we tell them to come to practice, and we just encourage people to come and join if they want to try it. So.
How old were you when you started wrestling?
Well, I wrestled for a little bit when I was probably in the 1st grade, and then I came back out last year when we got it at our school.
How did you get into it? Was it dad, or was it just what happens in the borough area? It's in the water that it just gets people to wrestle and wrestle well. So
my brother wrestles for the high school team, so he's definitely an influence. My dad, obviously. And I feel like going to matches all the time, it's something I've always wanted to do eventually. So it's nice that our school got it, and I have the opportunity to do so.
Luke, talk about the addition of girls wrestling. I mean, you have Kiski, which has a lot of wrestlers. Borough's growing their number of girls wrestlers. A lot of girls wrestlers. Talk about the excitement around girls wrestling and how it's making such a positive impact for the boys' side.
Yeah, I think just adding the girls to wrestling, it brings a different side. The girls would always have to wrestle with the boys, and now that they get to wrestle with the girls, it just they don't have to worry about anything like that, and it's just I think it's brought a lot of attention more to the sport as well.
For sure, it brings the other half of the household out. Now brother and sister are both there. Go ahead, Marky.
Coach Ansani, first year as the head coach at Burrow. He said you've been at Burrow for a number of years now as an assistant. Selfishly, it's great to see you at Burrow, being a Burrow guy. I wrestled for Burrow when you were the Valley head coach, and now getting you on this side of Route 66 as the head coach is a great thing. Well, how is that excitement for you being back as a head coach, especially at the school that you've put your time in over the past decade?
I'm really excited about it. We have a lot of guys coming back, so we have a solid team. It's just nice to be at the helm again, and I just want to continue the legacy that Burrow has had over these past 20-some years. Following the footsteps of Chris Como and Josh Shields, and my objective is basically, to continue that legacy.
For sure. Now, I have to ask, and I know Como still comes back to the room from time to time.
No, actually, Chris has joined Armstrong.
Oh, he's joined Armstrong.
Yeah,
okay. Now, is Josh, how many times has he been back in the room since
he
stepping
comes.
down?
Josh still comes back probably 2 to 3 times a week. He has a growing family. We have the same coaching staff: Isaac Greeley, Brock Biddle, Ethan Whistler, Jake Gramacki's my assistant. But we did have a great addition to our coaching staff, and that was Jake Wenzel.
Oh yeah, it's very big. I mean, it doesn't get too much better than an NCAA runner-up.
We have a phenomenal staff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Coach Stewart, now for you, being the head girls coach, your daughter is a senior on the team, and you have a son who's on the boys team. How cool is that to see kind of the whole family all involved in Burrow wrestling, whether they're competing or coaching? It's got to feel special for you and
It's
your
fun
family.
to watch. There's a lot of excitement now in the winter, and we're really excited about what they can do. And we've been doing it since actually Jake's been 4 or 5 years old. We started with Burrow, and the whole family from me to the kids to the mom, we're all involved in that. And
I was going to say, is Mrs. Stewart involved in all of this? Okay,
yeah,
running
yes.
the concession stand, maybe?
She's definitely the manager of the household, because we're running around like crazy for practices, and she does a fantastic job at the home front for us.
Now, I have to ask, how does Mom react? Is she one of the ones that kind of hides, or is she screaming, maybe in the middle?
Well, you've been with her a little bit more than I have, so. When Jake's right, like our son, we're both very quiet, and then I don't know how when she's wrestling, because she's up there by herself, I'm down on the floor yelling like a maniac. So,
Nice.
So it should be definitely probably it'd be interesting to put film on them and watch.
For sure. Go ahead, Marky.
Luke, going into your senior year now, you just committed to Seton Hill. Congratulations on that. going to wrestle for a close friend of all of ours, Vince DiAugustine. What went into your decision in choosing Seton Hill, and what was the comfortable aspect there that made you want that to be home for the next 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, so I think a big part was it was real close to home. So, and a lot of the guys on the team are like WPIAL wrestlers, and a lot of the guys like I've grown up with. And like Nico Farah's there, who's one of my teammates when I was a sophomore. And when I went on my official visit, I just felt like, that was the place where I wanted to be. And all the guys were real welcoming, and the coaches are just awesome. And I just was like, this is the place.
What are you going to study there, Luke?
Business.
Okay.
So, yeah, I
what
don't
do
know
you want to do?
I want to be like a salesman because. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good.
Because you talk a lot.
You do talk well. No, you talk well. I'll let that one go. We'll talk about that one off the air. Don't let him bug you. How about you, Bella? What grade are you in?
I'm a senior as well.
Senior. What are your plans?
I'm attending W&J, and I'm playing softball there as well.
You're playing softball there?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to try to get a wrestling team started, maybe?
They're bringing one in 2026, so I guess we'll see when.
And they're in different seasons, so as long as the
Yeah.
softball coach will let you have it, that's cool. What do you want to study, bud?
I want to go into pre-law.
Okay. What is your favorite subject at Burl, like academic subject?
I would probably say it's our history classes.
History classes?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite class?
Probably math.
Math?
Yeah.
When they brought letters into math, that's what I know. We'll talk about it later. It angers me too, trust me. Talk about your, Luke. Actually, never mind. I skipped over a question that I wanted to ask Bella, and now I can't remember what it was. Go ahead. You go.
We'll get it at
I
some
can't
point.
remember. It's been a long day so far. I'm making it through, though.
Goals, Bella and Luke, individually and as a team this year for both you guys.
Yeah, I'd say individually is the place at the state tournament. I was lost in the blood round at regionals last year, close match, and that kid ended up losing the blood round at states. So I think I'm right there with those top guys, And team goals for sure, WPIAL champs, and hopefully place top 4 in the state. I know that's one of Coach Steve's goal, and that's one thing that our team, as me and Isaac are like team leaders on the team, that's one thing that we're trying to do is get a state medal for us, but also Coach Steve as well.
For both of you, what's your favorite and then your least favorite part of training or practice? Ladies first.
I would say definitely for the girls' side, since it's so new to a lot of girls, like this is their first or second year. It's like I think the learning aspect of what we're doing is definitely one of the better parts. And I would say probably as a collective team, our least favorite is conditioning, but we do know it helps us out a lot. So.
Dad even chuckled on that one. I'm sorry, Coach chuckled on that one, so that's cool. Go ahead, Luke.
I'd say my favorite part about training is just you're with all your friends, and I'd say the worst part, honestly, and this year is it's not the worst part, but when you're in the moment, it's the worst part. Is we do sandbags now, so.
Okay, you're a big sandbag guy.
It's a little tough. It's a little tough, but
it is.
It's real good for you. And
oh my gosh, trains your whole body, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. Go ahead, Marky.
Yeah, those sandbags. The Amazon driver came into the office about a month ago, he had about 1,000 pounds of boxes looking for people to help him. So yeah, they're heavy. Coach Ansani, just to piggyback on what they said about the goals, Luke preached the same thing. WPIAL title, top 4 in the state. I'm assuming that's the same thing
Those
for
are
you.
the same goals we've had since I've been there. It's been what Coach Josh and Coach Como have always strived for. And again, like I said, we're just going to continue that. We want top 4 and to continue to be WPIAL champions.
Go-to meal, Luke and Bella.
Ooh, I'd probably say Chipotle, but I've been getting food poisoning from it lately, so I don't know.
What?
I don't know, yeah.
Bowl or burrito?
Bowl with a side tortilla on the side.
It's not a bad call.
Oh, he builds his own. How about you, Belle?
I'd have to say the same thing as Luke. It's Chipotle.
Tell us something that's fun or quirky that nobody knows about you.
I love doing TikTok dances, and I love singing.
TikTok dances?
Yeah.
You're on the ticky-tack.
Yeah, I am.
All right, Bella, how about you? It's probably going to be the opposite of what. Yeah.
I feel like at practice, like you always have that class clown at practice, kind of, and I feel like that's like a light spirit that I bring, and it's like something.
So you're the team clown?
I
You like to joke.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
Hey, you're supposed to have fun. How about any hobbies outside of wrestling and school and friends?
I play basketball and softball as well, so I have that. So.
Luke?
I'd say I play football, so football and just hanging out.
Congratulations, you had a great season this year.
And then just hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. So
good drill. Any last wrap-up questions there, Marky?
No, I'm all good.
All right, that's our good friends from the Borough Bucks. Thank you so much.
Thanks
We
for
will
having
be mat side with the Borough Bucks and the Kiski Area Cavaliers on December 21st over at Kiski this year. Flip it back over to Borough next year, but we know it's going to be a good one, so
Gonna
we're
be a
looking
barn burner.
forward to it. When we return, we will have our first of the higher ed division of wrestling. That's right, our good friends from St. Vincent College. Coming up next on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Keep it here.
It may be small, but it can bear over 4,000 times its own weight. And that's just the door hinge. Sturdy design, all the way down to the smallest detail. The Taos. Hop in. It's a VW.
For a great deal on a new 2024 Volkswagen Taos, visit Sendell VW in Greensburg. SendellVW.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan DeShyla Jordan, and I'm a musical theater major. And the Seton Hill Theater and Dance Department is where I call home. At first, I wasn't sure I'd fit in, but it was a major turning point for me when I started joining clubs and doing fun things around campus, like the step team and singing my heart out at karaoke nights. I'm also a resident assistant, so I can help other students have their own great Seton Hill experience. Now, I'm not afraid to try anything.
A lot of events with CSA, it's one of the things I love about this organization, and I'm just so proud of what we do in Westmoreland County, from prevention conferences, veterans conferences, youth summits. We help with national night outs. There's so many different events and things that we've pulled together that have been really cool over the years. The best thing to be involved in the county, this is it. So we have a lot of members and things of that nature, but we are looking for more people to join and be a part of the group that can really be a part of the core team and invest into the community. So.
The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is in very good hands. It's a system of healthcare whose hospitals have earned some of medicine's most prestigious honors for cardiovascular care, like the top 10% in the nation for excellence in specialty cardiac care. One of America's 100 best for heart care. A heart surgery program ranked among the top 2% nationwide and cited as high performing for heart bypass, heart failure, and heart attack. It's a system of healthcare that combines superb physician expertise with the latest technology, such as robotic cardiac surgery and hybrid operating rooms, the most sophisticated surgical environment in medicine, providing minimally invasive options for carotid artery disease and aortic valve replacement. The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is indeed in very good hands with the Heart and Vascular Program at Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Live from Marino's American Eatery in our pop-up Christmas bar, we're joined by the Bearcats of St. Vincent College now in year number 2 of wrestling. Next to George is Dom Naney, and next to him is Chase Brandebure, and then Ryan Weinson down there on the end. Coach, year number 2, you're already well. You have a good start into the season. Talk about maybe a brief recap of last year's summer training, recruiting, and then your preseason, and just a success. I'll get it out, I promise, of the early season here so far.
Yeah. So last year was a great start to the program coming back at St. Vincent. So we had a rough first semester, wrestled some really high-level competition, including the number 1 team in the country out in Las Vegas. We got beat up out there and were exposed, and we saw the things we needed to fix for the second semester. Got into the second semester, kind of rolled through into conference play, ended up winning the conference at the end of the year, and had 2 guys on the podium at the regional tournament. That was a good start. So going into year 2, we challenge our guys, hey, let's get big, let's get strong, let's get tough, and let's be ready to go in year 2, because we can't afford a sophomore slump and guys not being able to do it again. So we brought in 12 guys on top of our class from last year, which puts us at 31 guys on the team right now that are hungry and ready to compete. And then moving into this year, We've had a tough start to the year. We schedule, probably one of the toughest schedules around, starting out with 3 Division II matches, and we're in 2 of those and opportunities to win and really fighting and getting better, because that's our focus. We're thankful to compete, and we just want to get better right now. So the good news is after every match, we've gotten so much better and had so many great practices after that, fixing the things that need to be fixed for second semester, right? So making sure we're tweaking things and seeing exactly what guys need things in different areas, and that's been our main focus moving into. We have a really important stretch coming up in December and January, so just being ready to compete every day.
Chase, you were one of the guys that got to the regional tournament last year. Talk about that experience and what you're doing to get beyond that this season.
It was a shock for sure. There's a lot of high-level guys, and the tournament's really tough being only 3 guys make it to a national tournament. But it really set the standard of that's the level that I want to be at. I want to be beyond that and go into nationals. So to get into that top 3, I saw what it takes.
What are you doing? What'd you do over the summer, the off season, to do what you needed to do?
Just wrestling a lot. I still go to my high school club, Gladiators, and a lot of the college guys still come home. So we get a lot of good work in the summer.
Who's some of your favorite workout partners in that summer club?
I like Ty Waters, Sean Taylor, Nico Taddy. They're all really high-level guys that.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're pretty good.
They forced me to get better for sure.
Okay, good deal. Go ahead, G.
Coach, you mentioned, kind of having an outbreak year one for you as a head coach, but also for the program. This year you guys have a very tough opening schedule, right? Facing some adversity when you're thinking of the wins and losses, right, as a team. But what's that like? What are you telling your guys to kind of still keep them believing, right, in the process? Because you kind of have an awesome season last year where you win a PAC title. You have 2 guys on the podium at the regional tournament, and then this year you kind of start out a little slow, right? So how are you keeping these guys motivated?
Yeah, so we have a lot of individual and one-on-one conversations, film, whatever it might be, and our guys see our potential, and we see that we're right there. So we focus on our why. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? And it questions your character a little bit and questions a lot, but we're not here for November and December, right? So these guys are here, and we're all here pushing to do this for January, February, and March, right? So if we're solving the same issues we've had, the past 2 years in the first semester and the second semester, then we have a problem. But these guys know how talented they are, and they know how hard they work. So they're very confident in themselves, and they're trusting our training and trusting our conditioning and everything like that. So I think you asked me about morale the other night at our last duel, and these guys are each other's biggest fans. They're each other's hype men, and they love getting out there to compete every day. And we wrestle practices just like their matches, and every go is just as important as a match. So continuing to have that mindset and process every day is definitely the best thing for our program.
Ryan, you found yourself back to Westmoreland County. You competed at Norwin High School. I remember calling many of your matches. Very exciting wrestler, just as your father was. And you found your way back to St. Vincent. Talk about that path and how you ended up back here.
Yeah, so originally out of high school, I went to Clarion for 3 years, and unfortunately faced some adversity throughout, wrestling. But, I took a step away from the sport last year, and I still have that drive. So being able to come back and chase those goals, especially being in Westmoreland, where I've wrestled my whole life.